My child, stop scrolling. This is not random, and you know it. Only the chosen one will truly recognize what is happening right now, and if your heart tightened when you read that, this message is already reaching you. I need you to listen carefully, not casually. Stay with me until the very end, because what I am about to reveal is not surface encouragement. It is personal direction. You were led here with intention. Every word that follows carries weight, clarity, and confirmation for where you are in this season. Do not treat this as background noise. Lean in. Guard this moment. What you are about to hear will expose, awaken, and realign you. And once you see it, you will not be able to unsee it. My child, I want you to slow down with me for a moment. You may think you found this message on your own, that you clicked on something out of habit or curiosity, but I need you to understand something deeper. You did not arrive here by accident. I have been watching the quiet movements of your heart for a long time now. I have seen the way you have been searching without admitting that you are searching. You have felt a restlessness you could not explain, a subtle ache that followed you even on days that looked fine from the outside. And while you thought you were simply moving through another ordinary moment, I was guiding your steps in ways you did not recognize. I know how easily you could have ignored this. I know how many distractions compete for your attention. Yet you paused. You stayed. That small decision matters more than you realize. You may not have heard my voice in an audible way, but something inside you leaned in. That was not random. That was your spirit responding to mine. I brought you here because there are things I have been wanting to say to you. Things you have been ready to hear even if you did not know how to ask for them. You have questioned whether I still notice you, whether I am involved in the details of your life, whether your silent prayers ever reach me. I see all of it. I have seen you at your strongest and at your most tired. I have watched you carry responsibilities without complaint. I have watched you hold yourself together when you felt like falling apart. And through it all, I have never stepped away. This moment is not about coincidence. It is about connection. You are here because I wanted you to know that your life is not drifting without direction. I have been present in ways you could not measure. Even your doubts did not push me away. Even your moments of distance did not cancel my closeness. I have been patient, not because I was absent, but because I was waiting for the right time to speak in a way you would truly receive. And right now, your heart is more open than you think. You might wonder why this feels personal. You might feel a quiet awareness rising in you, as if these words are reaching into places you do not often let anyone see. That is because I know you. I know the private concerns you do not share with others. I know the thoughts that keep you awake longer than you admit. I know the memories that still visit you when everything gets quiet. You have been walking through life carrying more than people realize. You have been showing up for others while wondering who shows up for you. And I have been there in every unseen moment. I was there when you sighed without knowing why you felt heavy. I was there when you tried to convince yourself that you were fine. I was there when you asked, even if only in your thoughts, whether I still had a plan for you. I do. I always have. The path you have taken has not been random. Even the detours, even the delays, even the disappointments have been woven into something larger than what you can currently see. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not outside of my care. If you feel something settling in your chest right now, a sense of being understood, that is because you are. I am not distant from your reality. I am within it. I am closer than your next breath, closer than the thoughts forming in your mind as you listen. You were chosen to hear this because you are ready to move into a deeper awareness of my presence. Not in a dramatic way, not in a way that overwhelms you, but in a steady, grounded way that strengthens you from the inside. This is the beginning of something gentle but real between us, and I want you to stay with me in it. My child, I want you to think about the last few weeks of your life. Think about the subtle tension that has been living inside you. You tried to ignore it. You tried to drown it out with noise, with tasks, with responsibilities. But it kept coming back, didn't it? That quiet pull, that internal nudge, that sense that something deeper was trying to get your attention. That was not random emotion. That was not simple stress. That was me reaching into your awareness, inviting you to pause. You felt it in small moments, when you were alone in the car, when you were lying awake longer than usual, when you stared at nothing and your mind drifted somewhere serious. You brushed it aside at times. You told yourself you were overthinking, but you weren't. You were sensing me. I was drawing you gently, not forcing you, not overwhelming you, but guiding you. And here is what I need you to do right now. Stop fighting that pull. Stop labeling it as confusion. Stop running from it. Lean into it. Sit with it. Let yourself acknowledge that your heart has been hungry for something real. You have achieved things, you have managed responsibilities, you have kept your life moving, but underneath it all there has been a whisper asking, is there more? That whisper was mine. I have been stirring your spirit because you are ready to grow beyond where you have been. Growth does not always feel exciting. Sometimes it feels unsettling. Sometimes it feels like discomfort pressing against the edges of your comfort zone. But that discomfort is not meant to harm you. It is meant to awaken you. You are not losing stability. You are stepping into awareness. And I want you to recognize this. I have been patient with you. I did not rush you. I did not shame you for taking time. I waited until your heart softened enough to hear me clearly. You are here because something inside you finally admitted, I need direction. That honesty matters. Now respond to it. Open your heart wider. Tell me what you have been afraid to say. Invite me into the spaces you have kept guarded. I am not intimidated by your questions. I am not disappointed by your hesitation. I am guiding you toward clarity, but you must participate. Say it in your own words. I am ready to listen. Speak it even if your voice trembles. When you do, you will notice something steady beginning to form inside you. That is the beginning of alignment between your will and mine. You may not have realized how much you were carrying while pretending you were fine. You became skilled at functioning. You learned how to smile when necessary. You mastered the art of keeping conversations light while your thoughts felt heavy. But I have seen the contrast. I have seen the difference between your outer composure and your inner conversation. There were nights when you questioned your purpose. There were moments when you felt invisible in rooms full of people. There were times when you wondered if your faith was thinning quietly. I never left during those moments. I was there, not as a distant observer, but as your father standing close. You felt the pull because I was reminding you that you do not have to carry everything alone. You were never designed to self-sustain without connection. And yet you tried. You tried to solve every concern logically. You tried to control outcomes. You tried to predict every risk so you would not be disappointed again. That effort exhausted you more than you admit. So listen carefully. Release the illusion that you must have everything figured out. Let go of the need to anticipate every possible failure. Trust me enough to step forward without a complete blueprint. You do not need full visibility to move in obedience. You need willingness. And I see willingness forming in you right now. That is why this message feels personal. That is why it feels precise. I am not speaking in generalities. I am speaking to you. You are at a turning point. Not a dramatic public shift, but an internal realignment. Your thoughts are becoming more reflective. Your priorities are quietly shifting. You are beginning to see that external success without inner peace is hollow. That realization is not loss. It is maturity. I'm inviting you into something deeper, something steadier than temporary achievement. Walk with me in this. Do not rush ahead. Do not lag behind. Stay present with me. When the restlessness rises again, instead of suppressing it, bring it to me. Ask me what I am shaping in you. Ask me what I am removing. Ask me what I am preparing. You will not be met with silence. You will be met with guidance. Trust the pull. It is leading you toward life, not away from it. My child, come closer in your heart right now and let me speak gently but clearly. You have been fighting battles that never made it into conversation. You have been carrying thoughts that you did not want to burden anyone with. From the outside, your life may look steady, even strong. You show up. You handle responsibilities. You answer messages. You meet expectations. But I have seen what happens when the door closes and you are alone with your own mind. I have watched you replay conversations, second-guess decisions, and quietly question your worth. You did not announce those struggles. You internalized them. You tried to manage them silently. I need you to understand something important. Nothing about your inner world has been hidden from me. I have been present in every silent storm. I saw the nights when your thoughts would not settle. I saw the moments when you felt like you were barely holding yourself together while smiling for someone else. I saw the tears that never reached social media, the prayers that never left your lips but formed in your chest like a heavy breath. And I did not look away. You may have felt unseen, but you were never invisible to me. You may have believed you were alone in those mental battles, but I was standing beside you, steady and attentive. Now listen carefully. Stop minimizing what you have survived. Stop telling yourself it was not that bad. You walked through confusion. You carried disappointment. You endured emotional pressure that would have crushed a weaker spirit. And yet you are still here. That matters. I am proud of you in a quiet way that does not need applause. I am proud of the way you kept going when quitting felt easier. I am proud of the way you chose integrity when compromise would have been convenient. You did not always feel brave, but you were. You did not always feel faithful, but you were. I want you to sit with the truth for a moment. Let it sink in. Your endurance has meaning. Your perseverance had purpose. The pressure you faced did not destroy you. It refined you. There is strength in you that you did not recognize because you were too busy surviving to analyze it. I have been shaping you in the hidden places. I have been strengthening muscles you did not know you were developing. So breathe now. Release the belief that you were fighting alone. You were supported more than you realized. You sometimes wonder why the struggle lasted as long as it did. You ask yourself why relief did not come sooner. You replay scenarios and imagine how life could have been easier. I hear those questions. I understand them. But I need you to consider something deeper. The battle was not just about circumstances. It was about formation. You were learning discernment. You were learning resilience. You were learning how to anchor yourself in something stronger than shifting opinions and unstable outcomes. The hardship was not random chaos. It was careful construction. I was building stability inside you. Think about who you were before this season began. You were hopeful, yes, but you were also more fragile than you realized. You depended on approval more than you should have. You relied on predictable outcomes to feel secure. You attached your identity to success, to validation, to visible progress. The pressure exposed those attachments. It revealed where your foundation needed reinforcement. That revelation was uncomfortable, but it was necessary. Now look at yourself honestly. You are less easily shaken than you used to be. You are slower to panic. You are more reflective before reacting. That growth did not happen in comfort. It happened in tension. So instead of resenting the struggle, reframe it. See it as preparation. See it as protection. See it as positioning. I am not asking you to romanticize pain. I am asking you to recognize purpose. There were moments when you thought you were breaking, but you were actually bending without snapping. That flexibility will serve you in the future. You are stronger in spirit than you were before. And because you endured, you are now capable of carrying greater responsibility without collapsing. I want you to acknowledge that. Speak it quietly if you need to. I am stronger than I was. Let that statement settle in your mind. You are not fragile. You are forged. You are not defeated. You are developed. The battle you thought was meant to end you became the ground where your resilience grew. And I have been with you through every step of it. My child, I know how difficult waiting has been for you. Waiting can feel like standing still while everyone else seems to be moving forward. You have watched opportunities appear for others while your own plans felt delayed. You have prayed for change and wondered why nothing seemed to shift. You have questioned whether silence meant rejection. I need you to hear me clearly now. The waiting was not wasted. It was not empty space. It was not forgotten time. It was preparation in disguise. I understand how delay feels from your perspective. It feels like stagnation. It feels like being overlooked. It feels like being told not yet without explanation. But my timing operates with precision. I do not rush what requires depth. I do not release what you are not yet ready to carry. And you were not idle during that season, even when it looked like nothing was happening. You were being refined quietly. Your patience was being stretched. Your character was being anchored. There were areas of your life that needed strengthening before the next door could open. If I had given you certain opportunities earlier, they would have overwhelmed you. If I had granted certain desires immediately, they would have become burdens instead of blessings. You see delay as denial. I see delay as development. There were internal adjustments that needed to take place before external advancement could be sustained. You were learning discipline. You were learning consistency. You were learning how to manage disappointment without losing your identity. Those lessons are not glamorous, but they are foundational. I was building something solid in you. Think of it this way. Foundations are poured before walls are raised. You were in foundation season. It did not look impressive, but it was essential. So do not despise the waiting. Do not label it as lost years. Those years were shaping you. They were aligning you. They were protecting you from stepping into rooms you were not equipped to handle. I was guarding your future by slowing your present. That is not punishment. That is love. Now I want you to shift your perspective intentionally. Instead of asking why it took so long, ask what it produced in you. Instead of focusing on what you did not receive, notice who you became. You are more thoughtful now. You are less impulsive. You evaluate choices more carefully. You are not as easily distracted by superficial success. That maturity did not come quickly. It developed through waiting. And I see how frustrating that was for you. I saw the comparison creeping in when you looked at others. I saw the doubt forming when progress felt invisible. But through it all, You did not completely walk away. Even when your faith felt thin, it was still present. Even when your hope felt fragile, it was still alive. That quiet persistence matters more than dramatic displays. You remain connected even in uncertainty. That connection is why you are stepping into clarity now. The waiting season is not your permanent address. It was a classroom, and you have learned more than you realize. I am inviting you now to release resentment toward that period of your life. Stop replaying it as a failure. Reframe it as affirmation. See it as the soil where deeper roots were grown. You are more stable now. You are less easily swayed. You have a clearer sense of what truly matters. Those qualities will sustain you when momentum increases. Because momentum is coming. But I need you grounded before you accelerate. So take a moment and thank me for the season you once resisted. It may feel unnatural, but do it anyway. Gratitude shifts perspective. Say quietly, "You were shaping me." Let that acknowledgement soften any lingering bitterness. The waiting did not rob you. It readied you. And now you stand stronger, wiser, and more anchored than you were before. Stay open. Stay patient. The next movement will not require striving. It will require steadiness. And you are ready for that in ways you could not have been before. My child, I want you to revisit some moments you once labeled as failure. Not to reopen wounds, but to look at them with new understanding. There were doors you desperately wanted to walk through. There were relationships you tried to hold together. There were opportunities you prayed would work out. When they fell apart, you felt rejected. You questioned your value. You wondered if you had done something wrong. I saw those thoughts forming in you. I saw how quickly you turned disappointment into self-blame. But what you could not see then was my hand quietly closing what would have crushed you later. I was not denying you joy. I was preventing damage. Some of those paths looked promising on the surface, but beneath them were consequences you were not prepared to carry. I saw what you did not see. I saw the hidden instability, the subtle misalignment, the slow erosion that would have taken place if you had stepped fully into those situations. And because I love you, I intervened. I redirected. I blocked. That redirection felt like loss to you. It felt sharp and sudden. But it was careful and intentional. You have asked me before why certain things did not work out. I am telling you now, protection sometimes feels like pain. You were spared from conversations that would have shattered your confidence. You were shielded from partnerships that would have drained your spirit. You were guarded from commitments that would have trapped you in cycles you are no longer designed to live in. I want you to sit with the truth. Instead of replaying those endings with regret, look at them through the lens of mercy. You were not overlooked. You were overseen. You were not abandoned. You were escorted away from what would have harmed your future. Even the timing of certain setbacks was deliberate. Had those doors remained open, you might have walked through them with full enthusiasm, unaware of the cost. I stepped in before the damage became permanent. That is not control. That is care. Now I invite you to release resentment toward those seasons. Stop asking why they closed. Start thanking me that they did. It may feel difficult at first, but try it. Say quietly, "You protected me." Let that statement shift something in you. You do not need to carry bitterness toward what ended. You can let it go knowing I was guiding you toward something better suited for who you are becoming. You have also been protected in ways you never noticed. There were conversations you were not included in that could have wounded you deeply. There were plans that fell through that would have entangled you in stress beyond what you were equipped to handle at that time. There were people who slowly distanced themselves, and you thought it was a reflection of your inadequacy. It was not. I was repositioning you. I was clearing space. I was quietly pruning what could not grow with you into the next season. Pruning can feel personal. It can feel like rejection. But it is strategic. It creates room for healthier connections, stronger foundations, clearer purpose. You may not have seen my involvement because I did not announce it loudly. I do not always move with dramatic signs. Often, I move with subtle shifts. A delayed message, a canceled plan, a sudden change of heart. Those moments were not coincidences. They were quiet corrections. You have survived things you never fully understood. There were risks you avoided without realizing how close you were to them. There were emotional entanglements that dissolved before they consumed you. I was guarding your peace. I was preserving your focus. I was protecting the version of you that is still unfolding. And here is what I need you to do now. Trust my interruptions. When something does not work out the way you expect, resist the urge to immediately assume failure. Gauze. Ask me what I am shielding you from. Invite me into your confusion instead of retreating into frustration. I am not withholding good from you. I am filtering what reaches you. There is a difference. You are not being limited. You are being led. The path ahead requires clarity, steadiness, and strength. Some attachments would have compromised that. So I removed them before they took root too deeply. You are still standing because I have been standing between you and harm more times than you can count. Let that realization soften your heart. Let it build trust. You are not navigating this life alone. I am actively involved. I am attentive. I am protective in ways that are both seen and unseen. And as you move forward, carry this awareness with you. Not every closed door is loss. Some are lifelines. My child, I want to speak directly into something you rarely admit out loud. There were times when you questioned me. You did not always say it clearly, but you felt it. You wondered if I was truly listening. You wondered if your prayers were dissolving into silence. You questioned whether your faith was strong enough or real enough. Sometimes you even wondered if I was as near as you once believed. I saw those doubts forming. I saw the tension between what you wanted to believe and what you were experiencing. And I did not turn away from you. Doubt did not frighten me. Questions do not offend me. Your uncertainty did not cancel my closeness. In fact, during those moments, I leaned closer. I would rather you wrestle honestly than pretend with empty words. You were trying to reconcile pain with promise. You were trying to understand why certain prayers felt unanswered. That struggle did not disqualify you. It revealed that you cared deeply. Indifference would have been more concerning. But you were not indifferent. You were searching. You were trying to hold on to faith while navigating disappointment. That tension is not weakness. It is growth in progress. Now I want you to release the guilt you have carried about those seasons. Stop telling yourself that you failed spiritually because you struggled emotionally. Faith is not the absence of questions. It is the willingness to keep engaging even when clarity is incomplete. You kept engaging. You kept showing up, even if quietly. You did not completely walk away. That matters. I was not grading your performance. I was walking with you through development. And development includes discomfort. So let go of the idea that you disappointed me with your doubt. You did not. You were human. You were hurting. You were trying to understand. And I was patient. There is something powerful that happened during those uncertain seasons. Your faith became less about external expression and more about internal conviction. It shifted from routine to relationship. You stopped relying solely on inherited beliefs and began forming your own understanding. That process can feel destabilizing. It can feel like ground is shifting beneath you. But what was actually happening was refinement. You were moving from surface-level comfort to deeper connection. I was not silent because I was absent. I was silent because I was inviting you to seek more intentionally. And you did. Even when you felt tired, you still reached. Even when you felt confused, you still listened. That quiet persistence is stronger than dramatic declarations. I want you to remember that. Do not define your spiritual life by moments of intensity alone. Measure it by your willingness to stay connected during uncertainty. You did that. You are still here. And your relationship with me is not fragile. It is more grounded than it was before. Now I invite you to trust me more fully. Bring your questions without fear. Bring your confusion without shame. Speak honestly. I am not threatened by your transparency. I welcome it. The bond between us does not require perfection. It requires openness. And you are learning how to be open in a deeper way than before. That growth will sustain you in future seasons when clarity is again tested. So breathe. Release the fear that you have somehow disqualified yourself. You have not. You are still my child. You are still loved. You are still being guided. And your doubts did not create distance. They created depth. My child, I want you to be honest with yourself for a moment. You have been carrying more than you admit. You have taken on responsibilities that stretched you thin. You have absorbed other people's emotions. You have stepped into situations and quietly decided, I will handle this, even when no one asked you to. You told yourself it was strength. You told yourself it was maturity. You told yourself that being dependable meant being silent about your own exhaustion. But I see what that weight has done to you. I see the tension in your thoughts. I see the way your shoulders tighten when you anticipate the next demand. I see the mental list you keep running in your head, even when you are supposed to be resting. And I need you to hear me clearly now. You were never designed to carry life alone. You were never meant to be your own provider, protector, planner, and peacekeeper all at once. That burden is too heavy for one heart. You have tried to be strong in silence, but silence has been slowly draining you. So I am asking you to do something that may feel uncomfortable. Release it. Not in theory, not in vague intention. Release it intentionally. And name what you are carrying. Speak it to me. Say, this is too much for me. That is not weakness. That is wisdom. You do not honor me by pretending you are invincible. You honor me by trusting me enough to share the load. Think about the constant calculations you make in your mind, financial worries, relational tensions, future uncertainties. You run scenarios as if your thinking alone can prevent disappointment. But your mind was not built to sustain that level of pressure without rest. And when you try to solve everything independently, you create a cycle of anxiety that feeds itself. I want you to step out of that cycle. Pause the planning for a moment. Stop rehearsing worst-case outcomes. Bring your concerns to me in detail. I am not overwhelmed by your specifics. Tell me exactly what scares you. Tell me what feels unstable. Let me hold what you have been gripping so tightly. When you release control, you do not lose safety. You gain peace. And peace is more valuable than the illusion of control. I have been waiting for you to trust me with more than your surface-level prayers. I want your real fears. I want your private frustrations. I want the parts you think you should be strong enough to handle on your own. Bring them. Hand them to me. You will not collapse when you do. You will feel lighter. That lightness is not avoidance. It is partnership. There is something else you need to understand. Some of the weight you are carrying does not even belong to you. You have absorbed expectations that were never assigned to you by me. You have internalized standards that came from culture, comparison, or past criticism. You have taken responsibility for outcomes that were never yours to manage. You feel accountable for other people's reactions. You feel responsible for keeping everyone comfortable. You feel obligated to meet every unspoken expectation. That is not healthy strength. That is misplaced ownership. I am inviting you to examine what truly belongs in your hands and what does not. Ask yourself honestly, is this my responsibility, or am I trying to control what only I can handle? You cannot control every perception. You cannot prevent every misunderstanding. You cannot solve every problem for everyone around you. And trying to do so will only exhaust you further. I did not create you to be the savior of your environment. That role is mine. Your role is obedience, integrity, and trust. So set boundaries. Give yourself permission to say no. Step back when something is not yours to fix. That does not make you careless. It makes you wise. You are allowed to rest without guilt. You are allowed to prioritize your own spiritual and emotional health. And when guilt tries to creep in, remind yourself that you are not abandoning responsibility. You are redefining it. I want you steady, not scattered. I want you anchored, not anxious. I want you strong in the right areas, not stretched across everything. So today, practice release. Close your eyes for a moment and picture yourself placing your burdens into my hands. See yourself stepping back. Feel the difference. That imagery is not childish. It is intentional alignment. You are not alone in this life. You have never been meant to carry it solo. Walk with me. Share the weight. Let me be your support system, your stabilizing force, your steady foundation. When you move forward from this point, move knowing that I am actively involved in what concerns you. You do not need to prove your strength by suffering silently. You prove your trust by surrendering fully. My child, as you release what was never yours to carry, understand this. Supporting this mission is not another burden. It is a seed. When you give through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not losing. You are sowing into soil that reaches weary hearts across the earth. Did I not say that as you cast your bread upon the waters, it returns to you multiplied? What you release from your hand, I multiply in my hand. This message that lightened your spirit will become oil for someone else's lamp because you chose to fuel it. If you feel the stirring to help, that is me inviting you into partnership, not pressure. This is how rivers of hope keep flowing, through willing vessels who understand the weight is shared. I will breathe favor over what you give and guard what concerns you. Act now. Sow, support, and let me carry both your burden and your blessing. My child, comparison has been quietly eroding your peace. You may not talk about it openly, but I see how often you measure your progress against someone else's timeline. You scroll through updates. You hear announcements. You watch others step into milestones. And something in you tightens. You start calculating. You start asking yourself why your life does not look the same. You wonder if you missed a turn somewhere. You question whether you wasted time. I need you to stop that spiral right now. Stop measuring your journey against someone else's highlight reel. Your path was never designed to mirror theirs. I crafted your timeline with intention. The pace of your growth is not a mistake. The sequence of your experiences is not random. You are not behind. You are becoming. There is a difference. When you compare, you reduce your story to surface details. You overlook the depth I am building in you. You do not see the internal architecture that is being strengthened. You only see external milestones. But external milestones without internal stability can collapse. I am more concerned with who you are becoming than with how quickly you arrive somewhere visible. Think about it honestly. If certain opportunities had come earlier, would you have handled them with the wisdom you have now? If certain responsibilities had been placed on you sooner, would you have sustained them with the maturity you now possess? Growth has layers. Development has stages. I am not racing you toward visibility. I am shaping you for longevity. Longevity requires depth, and depth takes time. So stop telling yourself you are late. Stop assuming you are falling behind. You are on a path calibrated specifically for your capacity, and your capacity hath been increasing steadily, even if you did not notice it. There is also something deeper beneath comparison that you need to address. Sometimes when you see others succeed, it touches a fear inside you. It triggers the thought that there may not be enough opportunity left for you. It makes you question whether your window is closing. That scarcity mindset is not from me. I am not limited in resources, in doors, in possibilities. Your blessing is not in competition with someone else's breakthrough. Their progress does not reduce your potential. I am not working with a single opportunity that must be rationed carefully. I operate with abundance. But you cannot fully receive that abundance if you are constantly distracted by someone else's lane. I want you focused. I want you attentive to your own development. When you see someone else advancing, bless them genuinely. Train your heart to celebrate without self-criticism. That practice will free you from unnecessary tension. And when insecurity tries to whisper that you are too late, answer it with truth. You are not late. You are learning. You are not behind. You are being built. Let those truths settle deeply. Your life is not a race. It is a relationship. It is a process of alignment between who you are and who I am forming you to be. So lift your eyes away from comparison. Look at the ground beneath your own feet. See the progress you have made. Notice the resilience you have gained. Recognize the clarity that has grown in you. These are not small things. They are signs of transformation. Walk forward without the weight of comparison on your shoulders. Walk knowing that your timeline is intentional. Walk trusting that I am not delaying you out of neglect but shaping you out of care. You are exactly where you need to be to become who you are meant to be. And that is not behind. That is preparation for something solid and lasting. My child, I need you to look back over the last season of your life with honest eyes. Not dramatic eyes. Not defeated eyes. Honest eyes. You have been tired in a way that sleep could not fix. You have felt drained even on days when nothing extreme happened. You have woken up with a weight that did not match your circumstances. That kind of exhaustion is not simply physical. It is subtle and strategic. There has been pressure on your mind, pressure on your confidence, pressure on your hope. And I want you to understand something clearly. Not every thought that passes through your mind belongs to you. There has been a quiet war around your peace. Doubt has whispered when progress was near. Discouragement has intensified when clarity started forming. Distraction has increased when focus would have moved you forward. That pattern is not coincidence. When you began growing stronger internally, resistance increased externally. When you began stepping toward maturity, confusion tried to cloud your vision. That is not because you are weak. It is because you are valuable. You do not attack what has no potential. You target what carries purpose. And you, my child, carry purpose. So yes, you have felt pressure. Yes, you have felt opposition in subtle ways. But hear me carefully now. You are not losing. You are not being overtaken. You are still standing. You are still thinking. You are still listening. That alone tells you that the exhaustion did not defeat you. In trying, it pressed. It leaned in. But it did not break you. And I want you to do something intentional right now. Stop agreeing with every negative thought that appears. Challenge it. Ask yourself whether it aligns with truth or fear. When a voice says you are behind, respond with what I have already shown you about timing. When a voice says you are not enough, remember the resilience you have built. Do not passively absorb every internal narrative. Engage with it. Take authority over your mind. I am not asking you to deny reality. I am asking you to discern it. There is a difference. You are not helpless in this battle. You have awareness now, and awareness changes everything. There were moments when you thought your fatigue meant you were failing. You assumed your emotional dips meant you were regressing. But fatigue can also mean you have been fighting quietly for a long time. You have been resisting habits you used to fall into. You have been choosing restraint when old reactions felt easier. You have been trying to grow beyond patterns that once defined you. That internal work is invisible to most people, but it is not invisible to me. Growth requires energy. Transformation demands focus. And sometimes the process leaves you feeling stretched. That stretch is not collapse. It is expansion. I want you to stop interpreting every low moment as defeat. Instead, view it as a signal to rest intentionally, not to retreat permanently. Rest is not surrender. Rest is strategy. You do not recover by quitting your progress. You recover by reconnecting with me. So when exhaustion surfaces, do not isolate yourself. Draw closer. Speak honestly about what you feel. Ask for renewed clarity. Ask for steady strength, not dramatic adrenaline. I am not interested in burning you out with intensity. I am interested in building endurance in you. Endurance grows through steady discipline, not sudden bursts. You are learning to pace yourself spiritually. You are learning to guard your mind. That learning process has been tiring, but it has also been strengthening. The pressure you felt was meant to shake you, but instead it sharpened you. You are more aware now. You are more discerning. You notice subtle negativity quicker. The awareness is progress. So stand firm. Straighten your posture internally. Remind yourself that you are not fragile. You are forged. And when fatigue whispers that you cannot continue, answer it calmly, I am sustained. You are not alone in this fight. I am actively involved. And the very fact that you are still moving forward proves that exhaustion did not win. My child, there have been quiet moments when you wondered if this was all there is. You did not say it out loud, but the thought passed through you. You looked at your current circumstances and tried to accept them as final. You told yourself to lower expectations so you would not be disappointed again. That adjustment felt practical, even wise. But I need you to reconsider that internal conclusion. Your current chapter is not your entire story. What you see right now is not the finished version of your life. You are still unfolding. And I am still writing. I have not stepped away from your narrative. I have not stopped shaping outcomes. There are conversations you have not had yet. There are opportunities you cannot currently imagine. There are connections that will form at the right time. You cannot evaluate the whole of your destiny from a single season. Think about the way stories develop. Conflict appears before resolution. questions arise before clarity. Tension builds before breakthrough. You are in development, not conclusion. And development can feel ordinary, even repetitive. But beneath that repetition, progress is being made. You have already changed in ways you barely noticed. Your reactions are more measured. Your priorities are more focused. Your boundaries are clearer. Those shifts did not happen accidentally. They are evidence that transformation is ongoing. I want you to resist the temptation to finalize your future prematurely. Do not declare your growth complete. Do not assume your best days are behind you. You are still evolving. And I am not finished forming you. When disappointment tempts you to settle into minimal expectation, challenge that impulse. Ask yourself whether that thought is rooted in wisdom or in weariness. Weariness wants to protect you from risk. Wisdom wants to prepare you for expansion. There is a difference. And I am preparing you, not shrinking you. You may not see dramatic signs of change yet, but subtle shifts are already underway. The ground beneath you is more stable than it was before. The clarity in your thinking has sharpened. The distractions that once consumed you have lost some of their grip. That is movement. It may not be loud, but it is real. And I want you to lean into that progress. Do not rush the next chapter. Walk steadily. Stay attentive. Remain open to unexpected directions. The future I am shaping for you will not necessarily mirror your past assumptions. It may look different than what you once imagined. A difference is not loss. It is alignment. Sometimes what you thought you wanted was shaped by comparison or pressure. What I am guiding you toward will fit your true design more accurately. So release the fear that you have plateaued. Release the belief that nothing significant remains ahead. You are not at the end. You are in transition. And transition can feel ambiguous. It can feel like standing between what was and what will be. But that in-between space is fertile. It is where refinement deepens. It is where vision clarifies. It is where courage strengthens quietly. I want you to trust the process without demanding immediate evidence. Growth does not always announce itself dramatically. Sometimes it is gradual and grounded. But grounded growth lasts. So hold on to hope, not as fragile optimism, but as steady confidence in my ongoing involvement. I am not finished with your story. There are pages yet to be written. And you are not reading the final chapter. You are living the middle, where character develops and purpose becomes clearer. Stay engaged. Stay willing. Your narrative is still unfolding, and I am fully present within it. My child, I want you to think about the seasons you would never choose again. The conversations that still echo in your memory. The disappointments that rearranged your expectations. You did not volunteer for those moments. You did not wake up asking for hardship. Yet those were the very seasons that reshaped you in ways comfort never could. I know you would have preferred smooth paths and steady applause. I know you would have chosen calm waters over restless waves. But if I had sheltered you from every sharp edge, you would still be fragile in places that now hold quiet strength. You learned discernment because trust was tested. You learned boundaries because someone crossed lines. You learned self-respect because you once tolerated less than you deserved. That growth did not come from ease. It came from friction. It came from facing situations that forced you to decide who you were going to be when circumstances did not cooperate. I watched you wrestle with bitterness. I saw you tempted to close your heart. I saw the moment when you almost allowed disappointment to harden you. But you did not stay there. You felt the sting, yes, but you also reflected. You asked questions. You evaluated your own responses. That internal processing was not weakness. It was maturity developing under pressure. I want you to stop resenting every painful memory. Instead, examine what it built in you. There is a steadiness in your voice now that was not there before. There is caution in your decisions that protects your peace. There is empathy in your heart because you understand what it feels like to hurt quietly. Pain stretched you. It deepened you. It matured you. I am not glorifying suffering. I am showing you its result. When you were comfortable, you moved casually. When you were challenged, you grew intentionally. The discomfort carved out capacity in you. That capacity will serve you in seasons ahead. So instead of wishing you had been spared every trial, acknowledge what those trials produced. Speak it aloud if you need to. I grew through that. That statement shifts your identity from victim to developed. You are not defined by what hurt you. You are defined by how you responded to it. And your response was growth, even when you did not recognize it at the time. And now let us go deeper. Some of your pain came from people. Words spoken carelessly. Promises broken. Silence where support should have been. You replayed those moments, trying to understand what went wrong. You questioned your own discernment. You wondered whether you missed warning signs. I was there in those reflections. I saw the way you internalized blame that did not belong to you. And I want you to release that misplaced guilt. Not every wound was the result of your failure. Some wounds were simply evidence that you loved sincerely. Loving sincerely is not a flaw. It is strength. But strength must be paired with wisdom. And wisdom often grows in the soil of experience. You are wiser now. You notice patterns sooner. You trust your instincts more. You do not ignore red flags as easily. That is not cynicism. That is clarity. Pain sharpened your awareness. It refined your perception. It taught you to guard your peace without closing your heart completely. That balance is powerful. I need you to appreciate that balance. Do not let regret convince you that those seasons were wasted. They were instructive. They shaped your emotional intelligence. They trained you to recognize what aligns with your values and what does not. And here is something else you need to hear. You survived what you once thought would break you. At the time, you felt fragile. You felt overwhelmed. You questioned whether you could handle another setback. Yet here you are, still thinking, still hoping, still open to growth. That resilience did not appear magically. It was formed through experience. So when future challenges arise, do not panic. Remember what you have already endured. Remember that you adapted. Remember that you learned. Your past pain is not a chain dragging behind you. It is a teacher walking beside you. It reminds you of your capacity. It reminds you that discomfort does not equal destruction. You are not the same person you were before those trials. You are steadier. You are more self-aware. You are more grounded. That transformation matters. So hold your history with perspective, not shame. Let it inform you without imprisoning you. You are not stuck in those moments. You move through them. And because you did, you are prepared for more than you realize. My child, there have been times when you felt ordinary to the point of invisibility. You blended into routines. You completed tasks. You fulfilled roles. And somewhere along the way, you began to believe that your life was simply average. You looked at others who seemed bold or influential and quietly decided that you were not built like that. I need you to reconsider that conclusion. Your calling does not have to be loud to be significant. Your purpose does not need a spotlight to be real. I did not create you as an afterthought. I formed you intentionally. Your temperament, your strengths, even your sensitivities were designed with care. You sometimes see your sensitivity as weakness. You sometimes see your introspection as overthinking. But those qualities are part of your design. They allow you to perceive nuances others miss. They allow you to empathize deeply. They allow you to think before acting impulsively. That is not random personality. That is intentional construction. I knew exactly what I was shaping when I formed you. You were not assembled carelessly. You were crafted deliberately. There is a difference between flashy and faithful. Flashy draws attention quickly. Faithful builds impact steadily. You may not be flashy, but you are capable of faithfulness. And faithfulness has lasting influence. Do not measure your value by volume. Measure it by alignment. When you live in alignment with who you truly are, you reflect my design more clearly. That reflection carries weight. You do not need to imitate someone else's path. You need to embrace your own. I am calling you into authenticity, not imitation. Step into your uniqueness without apology. Stop minimizing your gifts because they do not look like someone else's. Your insight matters. Your steadiness matters. Your presence in certain rooms matters more than you realize. You have influenced people quietly. You have encouraged without fanfare. You have supported without seeking credit. That consistency is powerful. And I see it, even when others do not fully articulate it. Let me also speak to the deeper part of calling that you rarely consider. Calling is not only about what you do. It is about who you become. I am not primarily shaping you for public recognition. I am shaping you for internal integrity. The way you respond to pressure. The way you handle disappointment. The way you treat people who cannot benefit you. Those decisions reveal calling in motion. You are being developed in character. And character carries more weight than temporary success. There will be moments when you are tempted to compromise for convenience. Resist that temptation. There will be opportunities that look appealing but do not align with your values. Discern carefully. Your calling includes discernment. It includes patience. It includes courage to remain consistent when shortcuts seem easier. I am not asking you to become someone else. I am inviting you to become fully yourself. That version of you is not accidental. It is purposeful. You may not see the full scope of your impact yet. You may not understand how your quiet obedience shapes outcomes beyond your awareness. But trust this, nothing about your existence is random. Your story intersects with others in ways you cannot measure. Your growth influences environments you do not even realize. So stand confidently in your identity. Do not shrink back because you feel ordinary. Ordinary in appearance can carry extraordinary depth. Walk forward knowing that you were called with intention. You are not drifting through life. You are being formed for meaningful influence. And that influence begins with how you live today, not with how loudly you are seen tomorrow. My child, there were prayers you whispered years ago that you barely remember now. You spoke them in moments of urgency, in quiet desperation, and hopeful anticipation. At the time, those prayers felt intense, almost consuming. You asked me for direction. You asked me for healing. You asked me to change situations that seemed unbearable. And when nothing shifted quickly, you slowly stopped bringing them up. You assumed silence meant denial. You assumed delay meant dismissal. But I need you to understand something that will steady your heart right now. I did not forget a single word you spoke. Not one. Every request you formed in sincerity reached me. Every tear that accompanied those prayers mattered. Even the half-finished sentences, the exhausted sighs, the thoughts that never became audible words, I heard them clearly. I do not operate on your timeline. I do not answer in panic. I respond with precision. Some of those prayers required preparation. Some required you to grow into the answer. Some required circumstances to align in ways you could not see from where you stood. And some required me to reshape your desire so that what you received would not harm you later. You may have forgotten those old prayers, but I did not. They are not buried in some forgotten corner. They have been active, unfolding quietly in ways you did not immediately recognize. There are doors that opened that you did not connect to those prayers. There are protections that occurred that you did not realize were answers. There are relationships that entered your life that aligned with requests you once made in tears. I want you to pause and think carefully about how your life has shifted over the years. Some of the stability you now experience was once something you begged for. Some of the clarity you now possess was once something you pleaded to understand. You have walked into answers without noticing because they did not arrive wrapped in drama. They arrived wrapped in development. So do not assume that silence meant neglect. It often meant orchestration. I was arranging pieces you could not see. I was preparing you for outcomes you were not yet equipped to handle. And I am still working on requests you thought were forgotten. Do not let impatience distort your memory of my faithfulness. Instead, revisit those old prayers with fresh perspective. See how I have been moving. See how I have been shaping. Then speak to me again. Revive the conversation. Bring those desires back into alignment with who you are now. You are not foolish for asking boldly. You are not weak for needing help. Your prayers matter. They always have. And they still do. Now let me invite you into something deeper. When you prayed those early prayers, you were asking from a different version of yourself. You were younger in understanding. You were narrower in perspective. You wanted relief more than growth. That is natural. But as you matured, your needs shifted. Your vision expanded. What you once wanted urgently might not even fit who you are today. That is not failure. That is evolution. I do not simply grant requests. I shape the one who is asking. I refine your desires so that they align with your true calling. That process takes time. It involves correction. It involves clarity. Sometimes it involves closing doors you insisted on knocking. But all of it is purposeful. I want you to trust that nothing you have surrendered in prayer has been wasted. Even when I answer differently than you expected, I am responding from a broader view. You see moments. I see patterns. You see present tension. I see future stability. And because I see the whole picture, I respond with care. So I am asking you now, return to prayer with renewed confidence. Do not pray as someone who doubts whether they are heard. Pray as someone who knows they are known. Speak to me honestly. Tell me what you desire now, not what you desired years ago. Invite me into your present reality. You are not too late to ask again. You are not too embarrassed to revisit old requests. You are still my child, and I am still attentive. The fact that you are listening to this right now is proof that our conversation is ongoing. Do not silence it out of discouragement. Re-engage. Act thoughtfully. Trust patiently. I am not distant from your needs. I am actively shaping their fulfillment in ways that will sustain you long term. And when the right moment arrives, you will look back and realize that I was answering all along. My child, you have been measuring progress by visible change. You have been looking for dramatic shifts, sudden clarity, obvious confirmation. When those signs did not appear quickly, you concluded that nothing was happening. But transformation often begins beneath the surface. Seeds grow underground before they break through soil. Foundations are poured below ground level before walls rise. You have been in a season of underground growth. You did not see dramatic movement, but internal alignment has been taking place. Your thinking has matured. Your priorities have shifted. Your tolerance for what drains you has decreased. Those are not small developments. They are indicators of readiness. Breakthrough does not begin when circumstances change. It begins when you are prepared to handle change without losing yourself. And you are closer to that point than you realize. I want you to reflect on how you respond to challenges now compared to how you reacted in the past. There is more composure. There is more discernment. There is more restraint. That is progress. That is preparation. You are not waiting for breakthrough as a passive observer. You are becoming the kind of person who can sustain it. And sustainability matters. A sudden opportunity without internal stability can collapse under pressure. I am not interested in giving you something that will crumble. I am preparing you for something that will last. So instead of asking why it has not happened yet, begin asking how you have grown in the meantime. Notice the resilience. Notice the clarity. Notice the boundaries you now uphold. These are signs that you are nearing a shift. You may not feel fireworks. You may not hear announcements. But movement is happening. Stay attentive. Stay steady. Stay engaged. Do not withdraw now. Do not retreat into discouragement. At the very moment alignment is strengthening. Breakthrough often arrives quietly at first. It feels like peace replacing anxiety. It feels like clarity replacing confusion. It feels like confidence rising where insecurity once lived. Pay attention to those subtle shifts. They are not random. They are indicators. Let me also address the fear that has tried to convince you that nothing will change. The fear whispers that this is as good as it gets. It tells you to stop hoping so you will not be disappointed. But hope is not naive. Hope is fuel. And you have not lost your capacity for it. Even when you felt weary, you did not fully shut down. Something in you kept listening. Something in you kept reaching. That persistence is evidence that your spirit recognizes movement before your circumstances do. I want you to cooperate with that inner awareness. Strengthen it instead of suppressing it. When you sense peace about a decision, follow it thoughtfully. When you feel prompted to take a small step forward, take it. Breakthrough is often built from consistent small actions aligned with deeper conviction. Do not wait for a perfect sign before you move responsibly. Trust the growth that has already taken place in you. You are more prepared than you think. You are more equipped than you assume. The distance between where you are and where you are going is not as wide as it feels. It only seems far because you are viewing it from within uncertainty. From my perspective, alignment is increasing. Conditions are shifting. Timing and timing. So stand firm. Continue developing your character. Continue refining your focus. Continue releasing what no longer serves your calling. You are not stagnant. You are advancing steadily. And when the visible shift occurs, you will recognize that it did not happen suddenly. It happened after a long season of invisible preparation. You are closer than you think. Stay ready. Stay open. Stay grounded. My child, if you can sense that you are closer than you thought, then know this too. Your obedience in this moment is part of that breakthrough. When you support this work through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link waiting in the description, you are stepping into alignment with what I am building beyond what you see. A harvest does not appear without seed, and I am inviting you to sow into a field that is already ripening with souls hungry for truth. As I declared long ago, I give seed to the sower and multiply what is entrusted to my purpose. The stirring you feel is not coincidence. It is a divine appointment. What you release becomes fire in someone else's darkness, in someone else's wilderness. I will establish the work of your hands and surround your provision with my protection. Do not hesitate. Move in faith, give boldly, and step into the breakthrough I am unfolding. My child, there is something buried deep inside you that I want to gently bring into the light. You have believed, even if quietly, that you must improve before you are fully accepted. You have carried the idea that I am pleased with you only when you are disciplined, focused, productive, patient. When you fall short of your own standards, you pull back from me. You become cautious in prayer. You hesitate in worship. You approach me like someone who needs to apologize for existing imperfectly. I want you to stop that right now. Do not clean yourself up before coming to me. Do not wait until you feel spiritually impressive. Come as you are. Sit with me as you are. Speak to me as you are. My love for you is not activated by performance. It is not strengthened by your success or weakened by your struggle. It is steady. It is secure. It is not fragile. You have confused growth with earning. Growth is an invitation. Earning is a transaction. I do not operate transactionally with you. I am not keeping score. I am not weighing your good days against your difficult ones. When you succeed, I celebrate your development. When you stumble, I guide your correction. But my affection does not fluctuate with either. You are not auditioning for my approval. You are already my child. That identity does not expire when you feel discouraged. It does not diminish when you make mistakes. You need to let that truth settle in you. Stop bracing yourself as if I am disappointed. Stop assuming distance when you feel shame. If you sense conviction, that is guidance, not rejection. There is a difference. Conviction points you forward. Shame pushes you away. I do not push you away. I draw you closer. So when you feel unworthy, that is the moment to lean in, not retreat. Come to me honestly. Say, I am struggling. Say, I am tired. Say, I did not respond well. I will not respond with coldness. I will respond with clarity and compassion. You do not need to prove your value to me. Your value was established before you achieved anything. Let go of the exhausting belief that you must earn what has already been given. Rest in this. You are loved because you are mine, not because you performed well this week. There is another layer to this that I want you to examine. You often extend grace to others more easily than you extend it to yourself. You understand that other people are growing. You understand that others make mistakes. But when it comes to you, you tighten the standard. You replay your errors. You dissect your conversations. You criticize your reactions. You call it accountability, but sometimes it is self-condemnation disguised as discipline. I am asking you to treat yourself with the same patience you show others. Growth takes time. Change requires repetition. You are not transformed in a single moment. You are refined gradually. When you fall short, learn from it. Adjust it. Move forward. Do not live in it. Do not define yourself by it. I am shaping you steadily, not demanding instant perfection. And when you approach me with confidence, not hesitation. Come boldly, not because you are flawless, but because you are loved. Let that love stabilize you. Let it soften the harsh voice in your mind. Let it replace the internal narrative that says you are never doing enough. You are developing. You are progressing. You are becoming more aligned with truth each day. That is enough for now. So release the burden of earning. Release the fear of rejection. Release the idea that you must be impressive to be embraced. I am not measuring your worth by your output. I am shaping your character through relationship. Stay close. Stay honest. Stay open. My love for you is not conditional. It is constant. My child, lately you have felt unsettled in ways you cannot fully explain. You have sensed that something is shifting internally. Activities that once satisfied you no longer feel fulfilling in the same way. Conversations that once entertained you now leave you empty. Goals that once motivated you seem less compelling. You have wondered whether something is wrong with you. You have questioned why contentment feels harder to hold on to. I want you to consider a different perspective. What you are feeling is not necessarily dissatisfaction. It is development. When you outgrow old patterns, comfort begins to feel cramped. When your capacity expands, small spaces no longer fit the same way. That discomfort is not a crisis. It is transition. You are not losing stability. You are evolving. Growth often begins with restlessness. It signals that your internal world is adjusting. You are becoming more aware of what aligns with your deeper values and what does not. That awareness can feel disorienting at first. It can make familiar routines feel insufficient. But do not rush to fill that restlessness with distraction. Sit with it. Ask what it is revealing. What no longer resonates? What feels misaligned? What are you tolerating that once felt acceptable? These questions are not meant to create panic. They are meant to create clarity. I am guiding you toward refinement. And refinement sometimes feels like gentle tension. Instead of labeling your restlessness as instability, see it as invitation. Invitation to grow. Invitation to shift. Invitation to expand beyond what you once thought was enough. Do not numb it with noise. Do not drown it in busyness. Listen carefully. There is direction hidden in that feeling. At the same time, I want you to move wisely. Growth does not require impulsive decisions. Restlessness is not permission to abandon responsibility. It is a signal to evaluate thoughtfully. Reflect before you act. Pray before you pivot. Seek alignment before you make changes. You are not meant to react emotionally. You are meant to respond intentionally. I am not asking you to burn down everything familiar. I am asking you to examine what still fits the person you are becoming. Some adjustments will be internal. New boundaries, refined priorities, deeper discipline. Some may eventually be external. New opportunities, new directions, new environments. Those shifts should flow from clarity, not from frustration. So slow down. Give yourself space to think. Journal your thoughts. Speak them aloud in prayer. Let me guide the timing. The fact that you are feeling this shift means you are not stagnant. You are maturing. You are recognizing that surface-level satisfaction is no longer enough. That recognition is healthy. It means your standards are rising. It means your vision is sharpening. It means you are ready for deeper fulfillment, not shallow distraction. Do not fear this transition. Embrace it carefully. Stay grounding while you grow. Stay patient while you evaluate. The restlessness you feel is not a warning of collapse. It is a whisper of expansion. And I am walking with you through it, steady and attentive, shaping you into someone who can carry more with wisdom and peace. My child, I want you to sit with me for a moment and look at your own life honestly. Not through the lens of self-criticism. Not through the fog of fatigue. Look at it clearly. You have survived seasons you once believed would crush you. There were days when you thought, I cannot handle one more thing. Yet you handled it. There were nights when you felt emotionally spent, mentally drained, spiritually dry, and still you woke up and moved forward. You may not have done it perfectly. You may have stumbled in attitude or patience, but you did not quit, and that matters more than you give yourself credit for. You often define strength as bold, loud, visible. You imagine strength as confidence without hesitation, certainty without fear. But real strength, the kind that lasts, is quieter than that. It is steady. It is stubborn in a healthy way. It keeps walking when applause is absent. That is the kind of strength I have been building in you. When you felt like you were barely holding it together, you were actually becoming resilient. When you thought you were fragile, you were being forged. You do not see yourself as strong because you still feel human, still feel emotion, still feel doubt. But strength does not eliminate feeling. It anchors you despite it. Think about how you respond now compared to how you reacted years ago. You pause more. You think deeper. You recover faster. You have learned how to steady yourself without collapsing into panic. That growth did not appear overnight. It was developed in ordinary moments, in silent decisions, in unseen choices. You chose not to give up when giving up would have been understandable. You chose to stay engaged when disengagement felt easier. That is strength. So I want you to acknowledge it. Do not brush it off. Do not minimize it. Say it plainly. I am stronger than I thought. Let that truth settle in you. Your endurance hath been tested and it has held. Your hold hath been stretched and it has not shattered. I have been strengthening you gradually, not with sudden bursts of dramatic power, but with consistent reinforcement. And that consistency is what makes your strength sustainable. Now I want you to do something intentional. Stop replaying only your mistakes. Start recalling your perseverance. When your mind drifts toward moments of failure, balance it with moments of courage. Remember when you faced a difficult conversation instead of avoiding it. Remember when you set a boundary even though it felt uncomfortable. Remember when you forgave, not because it was easy, but because you knew bitterness would poison you. Those were not small decisions. They were defining ones. They reveal the depth of your character. You may not feel heroic, but your quiet integrity carries weight. I see it. I honor it. And I am inviting you to see yourself through that lens. You are not the weak version of yourself you sometimes imagine. You are developed. You are refined. You are capable of more than you assume. There will be future challenges. That is part of life. But you will not meet them as the person you once were. You will meet them as someone strengthened by experience, anchored by growth, steadied by faith. So when insecurity tries to tell you that you are not equipped, respond calmly with evidence from your own history. You have endured. You have adapted. You have matured. That pattern will continue. I am not finished strengthening you, but you are already far stronger than you give yourself permission to believe. Stand in that truth. Carry it with you. Let it change the way you see your own reflection. My child, there is a step ahead of you that requires something more than logic. You have relied heavily on understanding, on analysis, on calculating outcomes before you commit. That approach has protected you in many ways. It has kept you cautious. It has kept you from impulsive mistakes. But now you are entering a season where certainty will not come before obedience. Clarity will not arrive before movement. I am inviting you into deeper trust. Not blind recklessness. Not careless decisions. Deeper trust. That means acting with wisdom even when every variable is not visible. It means leaning on me when your own reasoning reaches its limit. You prefer full explanations. You like to see the map before you walk the path. But growth sometimes requires stepping forward with partial visibility. You do not need to know every detail to take the next responsible step. You only need enough light for that step, and I will provide it. The discomfort you feel when you cannot predict the outcome is not danger. It is stretching. You are being invited to rely on relationship, not just reasoning. That shift can feel vulnerable. It can make you uneasy. But vulnerability in my presence is safe. I am not leading you toward harm. I am leading you toward maturity. Trust does not eliminate questions. It repositions them. Instead of asking, "What if this fails?" ask, "What if I am being guided?" Instead of assuming risk equals loss, consider that risk may equal growth. I am not asking you to ignore caution. I am asking you to integrate faith with wisdom. There is a difference between reckless action and faithful movement. Faithful movement considers truth, listens carefully, and then steps forward without demanding guarantees. That is what I am shaping in you now. You have trusted me in parts of your life. You have prayed for guidance. You have acknowledged my presence. But deeper trust means surrendering control in areas you still grip tightly. It means allowing me to influence decisions you usually manage alone. It means inviting me into financial planning, relational choices, career shifts, personal boundaries. Not as a formality, but as partnership. You do not lose autonomy when you trust me. You gain alignment. And alignment produces peace even in uncertainty. So I want you to practice this. When you face a decision, pause and ask for my perspective. Do not rush to immediate conclusions. Sit with the question. Pay attention to your internal response. Does it bring calm or agitation? Does it align with your growth or feed your fear? Learn to discern my guidance through steady peace rather than dramatic signs. I often guide through quiet clarity. And when you sense that clarity, follow it thoughtfully. Trust is built incrementally. Each step reinforces the next. You do not have to leap across a canyon in one motion. You can cross a bridge plank by plank. I am not demanding grand gestures. I am inviting steady surrender. You are ready for this deeper level of reliance. Your past growth has prepared you. Your strength and character can sustain it. So move forward without demanding full control. Walk with confidence that I am attentive. Trust that I see what you cannot. And as you practice this deeper trust, you will notice a shift in your anxiety levels. They will not disappear instantly, but they will loosen their grip. Because trust replaces tension with quiet confidence. And that confidence will carry you into what is next. My child, I can feel how often your mind drifts toward tomorrow. You think about finances, health, relationships, responsibilities that are not even fully formed yet. You run scenarios late at night. You try to anticipate problems before they arrive. You call it preparation, but sometimes it is quiet panic dressed in logic. I am not asking you to ignore wisdom or to abandon planning. I am asking you to stop rehearsing disasters that have not happened. The future is not a monster waiting in the shadows. It is territory I already occupy. You step into it for the first time when it arrives. I am already there. You do not walk into unknown space alone. I walk you into it. That matters more than you realize. When you think about what might go wrong, your body reacts as if it is already happening. Your chest tightens. Your thoughts speed up. Your peace slips. And all of it is triggered by imagination, not reality. I want you to notice that pattern. Catch it gently. When your mind begins constructing worst-case outcomes, pause. Ask yourself whether you are responding to evidence or to fear. And invite me into that moment. Say you are already there. Let that sentence steady you. The future is not empty. It is not abandoned. It is not chaotic beyond my reach. It is under my oversight. You cannot control every variable. You cannot guarantee every outcome. But you do not need to. Your responsibility is obedience in the present, not domination of tomorrow. When you focus on what is directly in front of you, you build strength for what comes next. When you try to live in tomorrow prematurely, you drain energy needed for today. I want you grounded. I want you steady. I want you living fully in the moment you are actually in. The future will unfold in sequence, not all at once. And when it does, you will meet it with the maturity you have developed, not the insecurity you fear. You are not as fragile as your anxious thoughts suggest. You are prepared in ways you do not see yet. So loosen your grip on imagined disasters. Trust my oversight. Walk forward without bracing for imbibed. Not because nothing challenging will ever occur, but because you will not face it alone. There is another layer beneath your fear of the future that I want to address. Sometimes you are not just afraid of what might go wrong. You are afraid of what might go right. Success brings responsibility. Growth brings visibility. Breakthrough brings expectation. Part of you wonders whether you can sustain what you hope for. That fear hides quietly behind humility. You downplay your potential so you do not have to confront the weight of it. But I did not shape you to shrink from expansion. I have been strengthening your character so that when opportunity increases, you remain grounded. The very growth you have walked through has been preparing you to handle more, not less. You are not stepping into tomorrow as the same person you were 5 years ago. You are more disciplined. You are more discerning. You are more self-aware. Those qualities are anchors. They will stabilize you in larger seasons. So do not fear success any more than you fear failure. Let both rest in my hands. Your future is not a test you must pass perfectly. It is a journey you will walk with guidance. I want you to release the tension in your shoulders right now. Breathe slowly. Picture yourself handing your future to me deliberately. Not as a dramatic gesture, but as a steady decision. Say quietly, you are ahead of me. Let that truth become your calm center. When anxiety rises again, and it will at times, return to that center. Remind yourself that you are not stepping into chaos. You are stepping into continuity. I have been faithful in your past. I am present in your present. I will not disappear in your future. The consistency is your security. My child, there are things you are still holding that no longer belong in your hands. They may be memories, identities, expectations, or relationships that have already shifted. You carry them because they are familiar. You carry them because releasing them feels like admitting change. But familiarity is not the same as alignment. Some attachments have expired. They served a purpose in a previous season, but they are not meant to travel with you into the next one. And holding on to them is slowing you down. I want you to examine what you are gripping tightly. Is it an old version of yourself that you outgrew? Is it a role you once played that no longer fits? Is it resentment toward someone who disappointed you? Is it an expectation of how life was supposed to unfold? These attachments feel heavy because they are no longer yours to manage. Letting go does not mean pretending they never mattered. It means recognizing that their season has passed. You cannot step fully into what is ahead while clinging to what is behind. Your hands cannot receive new opportunities if they are occupied with expired ones. Release does not happen accidentally. It requires intention. It requires decision. So I am inviting you to choose freedom over familiarity. Choose alignment over nostalgia. Choose growth over comfort. You do not dishonor the past by releasing it. You honor your development. Some relationships shifted because your values matured. Some opportunities ended because your calling expanded. Some dreams faded because better ones were forming. Let yourself evolve without guilt. You are not betraying your history by growing beyond it. You are fulfilling it. I am not asking you to erase your story. I am asking you to stop living in chapters that have already concluded. Turn the page. Trust that what is ahead is not emptiness but expansion. The weight you feel when you think about certain attachments is a signal. It is your spirit recognizing misalignment. Listen to that signal. Do not silence it with sentimentality. There is also internal release that needs to happen. You still carry self-judgment from decisions you made years ago. You replay mistakes as if they define you permanently. You identify yourself with labels that no longer reflect who you are. That internal attachment is just as heavy as external ones. I want you to loosen your grip on outdated identities. You are not the person you were in your lowest moment. You are not confined to the version of yourself that struggled most intensely. Growth has occurred. Insight has developed. Discipline has strengthened. Allow your self-perception to update accordingly. Stop introducing yourself internally with past failures. Introduce yourself with present growth. When shame tries to reattach itself, refuse it. Say, that chapter is closed. Mean it. Release does not mean you forget lessons. It means you stop carrying the emotional weight of what has already taught you what it needed to teach. You cannot drag yesterday into tomorrow without distorting both. I want you lighter. I want you focused. I want you moving without constant backward glances. So take inventory. Identify what no longer belongs. Write it down if you need to. Then symbolically let it go. Pray over it. Speak over it. Close it intentionally. This is not dramatic theater. It is psychological and spiritual alignment. You are stepping into a season that requires clarity. Clarity requires space. Space requires release. Trust that what I am asking you to let go of is not more valuable than what I am preparing to give. You are not losing. You are refining. And refinement always feels like subtraction before it reveals expansion. My child, I know the world has not always felt safe to you. You have trusted before and been disappointed. You have opened your heart and felt it mishandled. You have shared vulnerabilities and later wished you had remained guarded. Those experiences did not just pass through you. They shaped you. They taught you caution. They trained you to read rooms carefully. They convinced you that keeping parts of yourself hidden might protect you from further pain. I understand why you built those defenses. I do not condemn you for protecting your heart. But I want you to know something deeply personal. You do not need armor with me. You do not need to filter your emotions. You do not need to rehearse your words before speaking to me. I already see the full picture of your heart, and I am not repelled by it. When you feel anger, I am not shocked. When you feel doubt, I am not offended. When you feel jealousy or insecurity, I am not withdrawing. You are safe bringing all of it to me. Safety with me does not mean you will never feel challenged. It means you will never be rejected for honesty. There is a difference. I am not asking you to be polished in my presence. I am asking you to be real. Remove the pressure to appear spiritually impressive. Sit with me as you are. Let your guard down intentionally. Notice how different that feels from the way you interact with others. With people, you measure your words. With me, you can exhale fully. That exhale is important. It is the beginning of deeper trust. When you realize you are safe, you stop performing. And when you stop performing, you begin healing. I want you to experience that kind of safety regularly. Do not wait until crisis to come close. Come when you are steady. Come when you are confused. Come when you are content. Let our connection be consistent, not reactive. You are not at risk of being misunderstood here. You are known completely, and being known without rejection is a rare gift. Receive it. There is also a quieter fear you carry that I want to address. You sometimes worry that if you truly let go and trust me, you might be disappointed. You hesitate to fully lean in because you fear being let down again. That fear did not appear from nowhere. It was formed through human experience. But I am not human in my limitations. I do not grow tired of you. I do not change my mind about you based on mood. My consistency is not fragile. When I say you are secure, I mean it. I am not unstable. I am not unpredictable in my character. You may not always understand my timing, but you can trust my intention. And that trust grows when you practice vulnerability. So practice it. Tell me what you are afraid of. Tell me where you feel exposed. Do not sanitize your words. Speak plainly. When you do, you will notice something subtle shift inside you. And you will soften. Your breathing will slow. That is not imagination. That is safety settling into your nervous system. I designed you to function best when you feel secure. And security begins with relationship. You do not have to brace for impact with me. You do not have to prepare for abandonment. I am steady. I am present. I am not leaving when you are at your lowest. In fact, I am closest in those moments. Let the truth reshape the way you approach me. Stop coming cautiously. Start coming confidently. You are not walking on fragile ground. You are standing on firm foundation. And from that place of safety, you can grow without fear of collapse. My child, many people can hear words and move on unchanged. Many can scroll past moments that were meant to stop them. But you did not move past this. You stayed. You listened. Something in you recognized that this was not just content. It was connection. That recognition is not accidental. It reveals readiness. It reveals awareness. It reveals that your spirit is alive and attentive. When I say only the chosen one will see this, I do not mean chosen in arrogance. I mean chosen in alignment. You were ready to hear what others might dismiss. You were open enough to receive without cynicism. That openness matters. It shows that your heart has been softened by experience rather than hardened by it. And that softness is strength. You could have grown bitter from what you endured. You could have become guarded beyond reach. But you did not. You remained receptive. That receptivity is evidence of calling. It is evidence of growth. It is evidence that you are not drifting aimlessly through life. You are responding to guidance. I want you to recognize that about yourself. Not with pride, but with gratitude. There is a reason these words feel personal. There is a reason they resonate beneath the surface. It is because you are in a season of awareness. And awareness changes trajectory. When you become aware of truth, you cannot unknow it. When you recognize alignment, you cannot comfortably return to misalignment. That is what makes this moment significant. It is not dramatic. It is decisive. You are not just listening. You are internalizing. That internal shift will influence your decisions moving forward. It will shape how you think. It will refine how you respond. You may not see immediate outward change, but inward clarity is already forming. And inward clarity precedes outward transformation. Now I want you to carry this awareness carefully. Do not treat this moment as temporary emotion. Reflect on it. Write about it if you need to. Speak to me about what stood out most. Do not let the insight fade into routine. Protect it. Nurture it. The fact that you recognized yourself in these words means you are ready for the next level of growth. Not louder growth, deeper growth. You are stepping into a more intentional relationship with me, and that relationship will shape every other area of your life. I am not calling you to isolation or superiority. I am calling you to maturity. Maturity means you discern truth when you hear it. It means you respond thoughtfully rather than reactively. It means you align your actions with your convictions. You are capable of that. You have demonstrated it throughout this journey. So move forward with confidence, not arrogance. Move forward with humility, not insecurity. Remember what you have learned. Remember how you have grown. Remember that you are not alone, not random, not forgotten. This moment was not chance. It was connection. And you recognized it. That recognition is the beginning of a steadier, stronger chapter in your life. Walk into it deliberately. Stay aware. Stay aligned. I am with you in every step that follows. My child, you recognize this moment because you are aligned, and alignment carries responsibility. Only the chosen one will see this, and only the willing one will respond. When you give through super thanks, become a member, or sow through the PayPal link in the description, you are not funding content. You are igniting a lampstand that shines into unseen rooms. I have called you to be light, and light requires oil. As I speak life into you, I am inviting you to help send that life further than your own reach. This is not pressure, it is privilege. The same anointing that allowed you to recognize these words will multiply what you place in my hands. I will return it as provision, protection, and peace over your household. Do not scroll past this calling. Respond now, give now, and walk boldly as the one who both sees and acts. Now listen carefully, my child. If this message reached you, if something in your spirit stirred and said, "This is for me," then do not stay silent. Seal this moment. Go to the comments and boldly declare, "I am chosen, and I receive this word." Write it as a statement of alignment, not emotion. Let it be your line in the sand. When you declare it, you are not performing for people. You are confirming in faith that you recognize my voice and you are stepping forward with me. And once you have spoken those words, pause for a moment and let them settle within you. Recognition is the beginning of understanding, but it is in stillness that truth takes root. What you have declared has opened your heart to remember something deeper than this moment. Because the voice you have recognized today did not begin today. It has known you, called you, and watched over you long before you ever realized it. I knew you before you ever took your first breath. I watched you being formed in the secret place, and I saw the person you would become long before the world had a chance to name you. You are not a random occurrence in a crowded universe. I handpicked you. I chose you with a deliberate, unwavering intention. I want you to sit with it for a moment. You need to understand that your presence here, listening to my voice in this very second, is not a mistake or a coincidence. It is an appointment. I see the way you look at the world and feel like a stranger. You feel like you don't quite fit into the boxes people try to put you in. You wonder why your heart aches for something more, something deeper than the surface level noise that satisfies everyone else. I placed that ache there. I set you apart because I have a specific work that only your hands can do and a specific love that only your heart can carry. You are my chosen one, and I have called you out from the masses to stand in the light of my purpose. Stop disqualifying yourself. I hear the whispers in your mind telling you that you aren't holy enough, strong enough, or prepared enough. You look at your past mistakes and your current struggles, and you think I must have made a mistake. I do not make mistakes. I didn't choose you because you were perfect. I chose you because you were mine. I see the knots of unworthiness in your stomach, and I am telling you to let them go right now. Breathe out that shame. I have already washed it away. I don't see the version of you that the world sees. I see the masterpiece I created. Listen to the still, small voice that hath been tugging at your spirit. You felt it in the quiet hours of the night. You felt it when you were driving alone or standing in a crowded room feeling completely solitary. It was my whisper. I was drawing you to this moment. Many are called by the general beauty of the world, but few are chosen for this level of intimacy. You are among the few. I have placed my seal of ownership upon your spirit. You carry my mark. It is an invisible weight, a holy mantle that signifies you belong to the Creator of the stars. Accept this role today. Stop running from the greatness I have placed within you. I command you to stand tall in your identity. You are my child, my beloved, and my partner in this life. I am personally involved in every detail of your existence. I know the pressure at your job, the tension in your home, and the silent fears you haven't told anyone. I am right there in the middle of it all. You are not alone in the selection. When I chose you, I committed myself to you. I will provide the strength you lack. I will give you the words when you are silent. I will be the floor beneath your feet when you feel like you are falling. Believe me when I say that you are enough because I am with you. This selection is final. It is settled in heaven. And now I want you to settle it in your heart. I want you to look around you and notice the heavy fog that seems to cover the eyes of so many. You see people rushing, striving, and burning themselves out for things that do not satisfy, yet they cannot see the trap they are in. I am opening your eyes today because I have chosen you to see the unseen. My child, the reason you feel a disconnect from the normal way of living is that I am removing the veils that the world has placed over your vision. While the many are blind, stumbling through the darkness of temporary pleasures and earthly anxieties, I am granting you spiritual sight. You are being awakened to a reality that is far more permanent and powerful than anything you can touch with your hands. Shed the distractions that keep others in the dark. I command you to turn away from the noise of the world that tries to drown out my truth. You know the feeling of being overwhelmed by the news, by social media, and by the constant demands of a society that never sleeps. These are the enemy's smoke and mirrors, designed to keep you focused on the shadow rather than the substance. I invite you to step into my light, where things are seen as they truly are. When you look at your problems now, I want you to see them through the lens of my sovereignty. That mountain in your way, it is only a grain of sand in my hand. That storm you fear, it is nothing more than a whisper compared to my voice. You must develop spiritual discernment. This is not a gift for the elite. It is a necessity for the chosen. I want you to start asking me for my perspective on your daily life. When you walk into your workplace and feel a heavy atmosphere, don't just call it stress. See it for what it is, a spiritual battle, and know that I have placed you there as a light bearer. Release your reliance on worldly logic. Your mind wants to calculate, to worry, and to predict the worst-case scenario. I am calling you to embrace heavenly revelation instead. Trust the gut feeling I give you. Lean into the promptings that don't make sense to your bank account or your schedule but make perfect sense to your soul. This is your moment of awakening. I am touching your eyes right now, and the scales are falling away. You can no longer live as if this world is all there is. You have seen behind the curtain, and you know that my kingdom is moving even when the earth shakes. Guard this vision with everything you have. The enemy will try to cloud your mind with doubt the moment you step away from this conversation. He will bring up your old failures and try to make you look down at the dirt again. I command you to keep your gaze fixed on me. Look at the horizon of my promises. I am showing you things that others cannot perceive because I trust you with the truth. You are no longer walking in the dark. You are a child of the day, and your path is becoming clearer with every breath you take in my presence. Come closer to me. I am not a distant God sitting on a cold throne, watching you from afar. I am right here, in the very room where you are sitting, waiting for you to realize how much I desire your company. I am inviting you to step past the outer courts of religion, the empty rituals, the performative prayers, and the checklists that leave you feeling dry. I don't want your religion. I want your heart. I am calling you into the Holy of Holies, a place of personal communion where it is just you and me. This is the intimacy reserved for those who truly seek my face, the ones who aren't just looking for my hand to give them something, but for my heart to know them. I have prepared a table for you in the very presence of your enemies. Think about that for a moment. While the world is shouting at you, while people are judging you, and while the pressures of life are closing in, I am inviting you to sit down and feast on my peace. I want you to imagine yourself sitting at a quiet table with me, right in the middle of your battlefield. The arrows are flying, but they cannot touch you. The noise is loud, but my voice is louder. I invite you to eat the bread of my word and drink the water of my spirit until your soul is full. This is the rest I promised you, not a rest that comes when the problems go away, but a rest that sustains you while the problems are still there. Feel my peace wrapping around you like a warm blanket. It is a peace that passes all human understanding. Your mind might tell you that you should be panicking right now, but my spirit is telling you to be still. Receive this peace. It is not something you have to work for. It is a gift I am handing to you. I see the tension in your shoulders and the way you hold your breath when you think about tomorrow. I command those muscles to relax. I command that heart to slow down. Enter my rest. This is where your strength is renewed. This is where you find the clarity to face the world again. Sustain the fire I am lighting within you. Do not let the dampness of the world's cynicism put out the flame of the Holy Spirit in your heart. You carry a holy fire that is meant to warm a cold world. I invite you to linger here with me. Don't rush away. The world can wait. Your chores can wait. Your worries can wait. Nothing is more important than this moment of connection. When you leave this place of prayer, you will carry the fragrance of my presence with you. People will notice a difference in your eyes and a calmness in your spirit, and they won't be able to explain it. They will be seeing the evidence of a soul that hath been with its Creator. You are my dwelling place, and I love being with you. I know that the path I have called you to often feels narrow and lonely. I see the moments when you look at others who seem to have it easier, those who don't feel the weight of conviction, those who aren't bothered by the darkness, and those who can just float through life without a care for the eternal. I see your tears when the mantle I've placed on you feels too heavy to carry. But I want you to understand the beauty in this burden. The weight you feel is not the weight of punishment. It is the weight of glory. It is the significance of being an instrument of my will in a world that is desperately lost. Find your strength in me when you feel your own reserves running dry. I never asked you to carry this call in your own power. If the mission feels larger than your strength, it's because it is. It's supposed to be. I designed it that way so that you would always stay close to me. When you are weak, my grace is perfectly displayed. I am the power in your lungs and the fire in your bones. Accept the mantle I have given you with a humble heart. Yes, it requires sacrifice. Yes, it means you cannot go where everyone else goes or do what everyone else does. But the joy that comes from being in the center of my will is a joy that no earthly pleasure can ever mimic. You must learn to balance being in this world without being of it. You have to go to the grocery store, pay your bills, and interact with people who don't know me, but you must do it all with a different spirit. You are an ambassador. You are a citizen of heaven living in a foreign land. When you feel the friction between your spirit and the culture around you, don't be discouraged. The friction is proof that you belong to me. It is a sign that you are moving in the right direction. Trust my grace to help you navigate the unspoken tensions in your family and the pressures of your daily life. I am giving you the wisdom to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. The rewards for your faithfulness are eternal, and they far outweigh any earthly sacrifice you have made. Every time you chose to be kind when you wanted to be angry, every time you gave when you were lacking, and every time you spoke my name in the face of mockery, I saw it. I am keeping a record of your courage. I am preparing a place for you where every tear will be wiped away and every struggle will make perfect sense. Hold on to hope, my child. The path is narrow, but it leads to life. The burden is real, but my yoke is easy when you stop fighting me and start flowing with me. You were born for this. You were made for this hour. Stand firm and know that I am proud of you. Look at the world around you with new eyes. Do not be like those who see only chaos and confusion. I want you to see the movements of my hand in the midst of the shaking. The world is changing rapidly, and many are gripped by a spirit of fear, but you are a child of the light. You have been given the ability to understand the prophetic significance of this season. While foundations are crumbling and systems are failing, my kingdom is being established in the hearts of the chosen. I am shaking everything that can be shaken so that only the unshakable things remain. You are part of what remains. Understand that your life is currently in a specific season for reason. Do not rush through the waiting or the hidden times. There is a movement of my spirit happening right now that requires you to be vigilant. While others remain spiritually asleep, lulled into a coma by comfort and entertainment, I am calling you to stay awake. I am whispering to you in your daily life, through a verse that jumps out at you, through a recurring thought, or through a door that suddenly closes. These are not accidents. These are my whispers of the Spirit guiding you. I am teaching you how to interpret the signs of your own life so you can move when I move. When the foundations of the world shake, you must stand firm. I am your rock. If you build your security on your job, your health, or your government, you will be terrified. But if you build your life on my word, you will be the one people run to when they are afraid. I am giving you a wisdom that exceeds your years and your education. I am giving you insight into how to protect your family and how to navigate the coming days. You don't need to know the whole future. You only need to know the one who holds the future. Trust me to lead you one step at a time. We are approaching the dawn of a new spiritual era. Can you feel the tension in the air? It is the birth pains of something new. I am preparing you to be a leader in the harvest that is coming. I am refining your character and deepening your roots because the winds are going to get stronger. But do not fear the wind. It only blows away the chaff. It only makes the deep-rooted trees stronger. I am with you in the chaos. I am the calm at the center of the storm. Keep your eyes on me, and you will walk on the waves that are drowning others. You are chosen for such a time as this. Believe it. Accept it. Walk in it. Do not turn away now, for we have reached a sacred threshold in our conversation that your soul cannot afford to miss. It would deeply grieve my heart to see you walk away just as I am preparing to reach into the deepest wounds of your past to bring forth the healing you have begged for in the dark. To stop now would be to leave the work unfinished, turning your back on the very restoration I have meticulously planned for this moment. Stay with me, my child. Do not let the enemy steal the breakthrough that is finally within your grasp. I want to talk to you about the things you've tried to hide, even from me. I see the scars on your heart that you cover with a smile every morning. I see the memories that make you wince when you're alone in the car. My child, I am the God who heals. I am not just interested in your future, I am deeply concerned with your past. I want to turn your greatest trials into your greatest testimony. The very things that the enemy meant to break you are the things I will use to build others up. I am the master of restoration. Nothing you have been through is wasted in my hands. Release the shame that has been hindering your divine progression. Shame is a prison that I have already unlocked. Why are you still sitting in the cell? I do not remember your sins anymore. They are buried in the depths of the sea. Why do you keep fishing them up? I see the way you hold yourself back because you think you're damaged goods. You are not. You are a new creation. The old has passed away. I command you to take off those rags of guilt and put on the robe of my righteousness. You cannot walk into the future I have for you if you are constantly looking over your shoulder at the person you used to be. I am pouring the oil of gladness over you today. For every year you spent in mourning, I am bringing a double portion of joy. For every tear you cried in the dark, I am bringing a harvest of laughter in the light. I will restore the years that the locusts have eaten. Do you believe I can do that? I can make up for lost time. I can heal the broken relationships that you thought were gone forever. I can bring wholeness to a mind that has been shattered by trauma. I am the great physician, and my medicine is my love. Find your wholeness through the sacrifice of my Son. He took your stripes so you could be healed. He took your rejection so you could be accepted. He took your death so you could have life. Walk in the freedom of being a new creation. This is not a self-help program. This is a supernatural transformation. I am reaching deep into the soil of your soul and pulling out the roots of bitterness and pain. I am replacing them with my peace. You are no longer defined by what happened to you. You are defined by what I say about you. And I say you are healed. I say you are whole. I say you are free. Now, walk in that freedom. I want you to realize that you are not a victim of your circumstances, nor are you a puppet of the world's whims. I have placed within you a power that the world cannot comprehend, and it is time for you to stop whispering when I have called you to speak with my authority. You carry the word of the living God in your mouth, and when you speak in alignment with my will, the atmosphere around you must change. I have granted you the keys to the kingdom. Do you understand what that means? It means that what you bind on earth is bound in heaven, and what you loose on earth is loosed in heaven. You have the authority to close doors to the enemy and open windows to my blessing. Stop being afraid of the shadows that dance on your wall at night. I command you to stand against the principalities of darkness with a quiet, unshakable confidence. You do not fight for victory, you fight from victory. A battle was won the moment my Son said, "It is finished." When the enemy brings lies about your health, your finances, or your family, I want you to answer him with my truth. Don't argue with him using your own logic. Use my word. My word is a sharp sword that cuts through every deception. Use it. Declare my promises over your home. Decree that peace lives within your walls. I have given you the power to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy. And nothing shall by any means hurt you when you are tucked away in my presence. Exercising faith is like using a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. I want you to start speaking to the mountains in your life. Don't just talk to me about how big your mountains are, talk to your mountains about how big your God is. Command the mountain of debt to move. Command the mountain of sickness to be cast into the sea. This isn't about positive thinking. This is about spiritual authority. You are a co-heir with Christ. You share in his inheritance and his power. When you walk into a room, you should walk as one who knows they are backed by the entire host of heaven. I have stationed my angels around you to guard you in all your ways. You are never truly alone, even when the world feels empty. There is a hedge of protection around your life that the enemy cannot penetrate without my permission, and I only permit what I will eventually use for your good. I want you to feel that security right now. Let it settle into your bones. You don't have to live in a state of constant defense. You can live in a state of divine assurance. I have empowered you to change history through your prayers and your declarations. You are my representative on this earth. Start acting like the royalty I have made you. Walk with your head held high, not in pride, but in the holy recognition of who lives inside of you. I am the King of Kings, and you are my child. That makes you a force to be reckoned with. I know that right now it feels like you are walking through a dry and weary land where there is no water. You look around and see only sand and heat, and you wonder if I have forgotten you in the desert. My child, I have not forgotten you. In fact, I am the one who led you here. I lead my chosen ones into the wilderness not to abandon them, but to speak to their hearts without the distractions of the world. The desert is not a place of punishment. It is a place of preparation. It is here, in the quietness of the wasteland, that you learn the sound of my voice with a clarity you could never find in the city. Do not be afraid of the scarcity you see. I am Jehovah Jireh, and I can provide manna even in places where nothing seems to grow. I want you to trust me for your daily bread. Don't worry about next month or next year. Just look at the provision I have placed in your hand for today. I am teaching you a deep level of dependence that will be your greatest strength in the seasons to come. In the heat of this trial, I am refining your character. I am burning away the dependencies on people and systems that were actually keeping you weak. I am stripping away the extra so that you can find the essential, which is me. Trust my cloud by day and my fire by night. When I move, you move. When I stay, you stay. I know the waiting feels like a waste of time, but I am doing a work in your roots that will support the fruit I am about to bring forth. Do not mistake my silence for my absence. Just because you don't hear a booming voice doesn't mean I am not working behind the scenes. I am the one holding back the predators in the night. I am the one making sure your shoes do not wear out. I am the one preparing the way for your crossing. You are getting ready to enter your promised land, but you cannot enter it with a slave mentality. The wilderness is where the old version of you dies so the new version of you can lead. I am teaching you how to fight, how to worship in the dark, and how to follow me when you can't see the path. Take a deep breath of the desert air and know that the spring is coming. I will turn your desert into a garden and your parched ground into bubbling springs. This season has an expiration date. You are not going to die in this wilderness. You are going to be reborn in it. I am with you in every step across the sand. Stay close to my side and let me finish the work I started in you. There is a miracle waiting on the other side of your yes. I want you to understand that obedience is not about following a set of cold rules. It is about staying in the flow of my favor. When I ask you to do something, it is always because I have something better for you than what you are currently holding on to. I am calling you into radical obedience, the kind that moves when I say move, even when the destination is completely hidden from your sight. Yes, Lord is the most powerful prayer you can ever offer. It is a total surrender that unlocks the windows of heaven and allows my grace to flood your reality. I see the plans you have meticulously laid out for your life. I see the way you tried to control every outcome to keep yourself safe. I am asking you to let go. I am asking you to trust my design over your own. My thoughts are higher than your thoughts, and my ways are far beyond what you can imagine. When you try to force a door open that I have closed, you only bruise your shoulder. When you hold on to something I told you to release, you leave no room in your hands for the new blessing I am trying to give you. I command you to loosen your grip. Trust me, I am not trying to take from you. I am trying to get something better to you. The safety you crave is found within the boundaries of my commandments. I know it is just as much an act of love as my yes. I see the pitfalls you cannot see. I see the heartbreaks that lie down the path of your own desires. When you obey me, you are stepping under my umbrella of protection. It is a place where the enemy cannot easily reach you. Miracles happen when you stop negotiating with me and start complying with me. Think of the water that turned into wine or the sea that parted. These things happened because someone was willing to do exactly what I said, no matter how strange it seemed. I am looking for a heart that is fully mine. I am looking for someone who will trust me when the bank account is low, when the body is tired, and when the world is mocking. Your obedience is a form of worship that moves my heart like nothing else. It proves that you value me more than your own comfort. I promise you, I will never be in your debt. Whatever you give up for me, I will return to you 100-fold, both in this life and the one to come. Start today with one small act of obedience. Oh, the rum who to go the version. You give the gift or to let go of the ruddy. Watch how the atmosphere of your life shifts when you simply say, "Yes, Father." If you want to stand tall in the storms that are coming, you must go deep. I see so many of my children living on the surface, feeding on the shallow emotions of the moment. But I am calling you to be like a tree planted by the streams of water. I want your roots to go down deep into the soil of my word, so deep that you are no longer affected by the heat of the world or the drought of the season. When your roots are deep, you don't have to worry about the wind. The wind will only blow away the dead leaves, but the tree itself will remain standing. I am the living water. Come and drink from me so that you never have to thirst again. Why do you keep trying to fill your soul with the salt water of the world's approval? It only makes you thirstier. I invite you to spend time in my presence, not just for 5 minutes, but long enough for the water of my spirit to saturate your dry places. This is how you strengthen your inner man. This is how you develop a resilience that can handle the pressures of your 30s, 40s, and beyond. You need a daily bread that doesn't come from a grocery store. You need the light of my truth to guide your steps through the maze of modern life. Build your house upon the rock. The rock is not just hearing my words, but doing them. When the rain falls and the floods come, and they will come, the only thing that will determine if you stand or fall is the foundation you chose during the sunny days. I am your firm foundation. Everything else is sinking sand. Your career can change, your health can fluctuate, and people can walk away, but I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. I want you to feel that stability right now. You are anchored in me. You don't have to be tossed back and forth by every new trend or every wave of bad news. Growth takes time, and I am patient with you. I am watching over your progression like a gardener watches over a prized vine. I am pruning the parts of you that are sucking away your energy without producing fruit. It might hurt for a moment, but it is for your survival and your success. I want you to grow in maturity so that you are no longer a spiritual infant, easily fooled by the enemy's lies. I am teaching you how to discern between what is good and what is best. Stay planted. Don't keep moving your soul from one thing to another. Find your home in me, and watch how your life begins to reflect the strength and the beauty of the heavens. As you feel your roots diving deeper into the bedrock of my truth, realize that I have chosen you not just to survive the storm, but to sustain the weary who are still lost in the wind. I am looking for a heart that says, "I will be the hands that carry this light to the ends of the earth," because your support is the oil that keeps this lamp burning for millions. My child, do not let this moment of growth pass without sowing into the very soil that is feeding your soul. I declare over you that as you give through the link below or a super thanks, I will multiply your seed and make your own storehouses overflow with my supernatural abundance. Your generosity is a divine appointment, a prophetic act that proves you are a steward of my kingdom and a pillar of my house. I promise to shield your finances and protect your peace as you prioritize the spreading of my word. Stand with me now, partner with my mission, and become the river that brings life to the desert. I command you to act on this prompting. Show your support today and watch how I open the windows of heaven over your life. I implore you, do not let the distractions of this world pull you from my presence while your roots are still searching for the deep water. It would be a profound disappointment to my spirit if you chose the shallow noise of the world over the divine armor I am about to place upon your shoulders. You are standing on the edge of a great victory, and to leave this moment would be to step back into the battle unprotected and alone. Lean in closer, for I have words of power that your heart must receive if you are to survive the storms ahead. I want you to listen to me very carefully. I have not given you a spirit of fear. If you are feeling a cold knot of dread in your chest, if you are lying awake at night playing out what if scenarios, or if you are afraid to step out into your purpose, that feeling did not come from me. Fear is a spirit from the enemy, designed to paralyze you and keep you from the destiny I have for you. But I have given you a spirit of power, of love, and of a sound mind. It is time for you to reclaim your peace. I command that spirit of fear to leave your presence right now. Cast all your anxieties upon me, for I care for you with an intensity you cannot imagine. I don't want you to carry even 1% of your worries. I want the whole load. Give me the worry about your children. Give me the pressure of your finances. Give me the fear of aging or the fear of failure. I have big shoulders. I can handle it all. When you hold on to your anxiety, you are essentially saying that you think you can handle it better than I can. I am asking you to humble yourself and admit that you need me. Let go of the heavy weight and feel the lightness that comes when the Creator of the universe takes over your burdens. Use the shield of faith to quench every fiery dart the enemy throws at your mind. He will try to tell you that the worst is going to happen. He will try to tell you that you are alone. He will try to tell you that I have turned my back on you. Those are lies. Pick up your shield. Remind yourself of my faithfulness in the past. If I brought you through the last storm, why wouldn't I bring you through this one? My track record in your life is perfect. I am with you always, even to the very end of the age. You are never, ever alone. I am the wall of fire around you and the glory in your midst. The victory of love casts out every lingering shadow. When you fill your heart with the realization of how much I love you, there is no room left for fear. Fear and love cannot occupy the same space. I want you to meditate on my love for you, a love that is wider, longer, higher, and deeper than any ocean. You are safe in my hands. Nothing can pluck you out. Stand tall while the world bows to panic and doubt. When others are rushing in fear, you be the one who stands still in faith. Your courage will be a sign to them that there is a God who still rules over the affairs of men. I am that God, and you are my brave child. I know the frustration that bubbles up inside you when you feel like life is on pause. You look at the clock, you look at the years passing by, and you wonder why the promises I gave you haven't manifested yet. You see others, people who don't even seek my face, sprinting ahead, while you feel like you are walking through knee-deep water. My child, I need you to trust that my ways are infinitely higher than your ways. My timing is not a punishment. It is a protection. I am orchestrating a billion moving pieces in the universe to ensure that when your moment arrives, it is perfect. If I gave you what you are asking for right now, before you were ready to carry the weight of it, it would crush you instead of bless you. I am not just preparing the blessing for you, I am preparing you for the blessing. Wait on me. I am not asking you to wait in a state of passive boredom, but in a state of active expectation. When you wait on the Lord, I am renewing your strength. I am giving you the wings of an eagle so that when you finally take off, you won't just flutter, you will soar. I want you to understand that a delay in my kingdom is never a denial from my hand. I have heard every prayer you whispered into your pillow at 3:00 a.m. I have seen every tear you shed over the dreams that seem to be dying. Not one of them has been ignored. I am the God of the 11th hour. I often wait until the very last second, until all human hope is gone, just so that when I move, there is no doubt that it was me. I am teaching you a patience that leads to spiritual perfection, a steadiness that isn't shaken by the calendar. Resist the urge to move ahead of the Holy Spirit. I see you trying to help me out by forcing doors open or taking shortcuts that compromise your peace. When you move ahead of me, you step out from under my canopy of grace and into a world of unnecessary toil. I don't want you to labor in your own strength. I want you to move in my flow. There is a beauty in everything being made perfect in its time. Think of the seasons of the earth. The winter is just as necessary as the spring. Without the cold, quiet dormancy of winter, the blossoms of spring would have no foundation. Your current winter is where your character is becoming solid. I am developing in you a maturity that values the giver more than the gift. If I gave you everything instantly, you would become addicted to the blessing and forget the one who provides it. I want our relationship to be the foundation of your life. I want you to be so anchored in my love that whether you are in a season of abundance or a season of waiting, your joy remains the same. Trust the rhythm of my heart. I am never late, and I am never hurried. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I see the finish line of your life, and it is glorious. Relax your grip on the timeline. Breathe in my presence and say, your will, your way, your time. When you surrender your schedule to me, you will find a peace that the world's hustle can never provide. I have breathed unique gifts into the very fabric of your soul. No one else on this earth has the exact combination of experiences, talents, and personality that I have given you. You are a custom-designed instrument intended to play a specific melody in my grand symphony. I want you to identify those gifts today. Stop looking at what others have and wishing you were them. That is an insult to the craftsmanship I put into you. Whether your talent is speaking, creating, organizing, or simply showing a level of compassion that heals the broken, I want you to recognize it as a divine deposit. You are a steward of my grace, and I have entrusted you with these talents because I know what you are capable of when you partner with me. Use your influence to expand the borders of my kingdom. I didn't give you your skills just so you could build a comfortable life for yourself. I gave them to you so you could be a bridge for others to find me. I am calling you to a higher level of accountability. The chosen ones are not called to be spectators. They are called to be producers of good fruit. I want you to look at your workplace, your social circle, and your family as your mission field. Bring glory to my name through your excellence and your craft. When you do your work with a spirit of integrity and a heart of worship, you are preaching a sermon without saying a word. I am inviting you to multiply what I have given you. Don't bury your talent in the soil of fear or the dirt of someday. Start where you are with what you have. I am watching how you handle the small things. If I can trust you with a little, I will trust you with much. I see the way you serve, when no one is watching. I see the way you use your resources to help the least of these when it isn't convenient. That is true stewardship. I am preparing you for a position of great influence, but that position requires a heart that is already surrendered to service. I want you to live with the eternal goal in mind. One day, you will stand before me, and I want nothing more than to look into your eyes and say, "Well done, good and faithful servant." I want you to hear those words echoing in your spirit every time you face a choice between the easy path and the right path. Do not let the world's definition of success distract you. The world measures success by numbers, titles, and trophies. I measure success by faithfulness and obedience. If you are faithful to use what I gave you, even if the world thinks it's small, you are a giant in my kingdom. I am giving you the creative ideas, the sudden insights, and the energy to pursue your calling. I am opening doors for your talents to be seen by those who need them most. But remember, the moment you start taking the credit, the flow of favor stops. Keep your heart humble. Keep your eyes on me. You are the vessel, I am the treasure. Together, we are going to make an impact that will echo into eternity. Use your breath, your hands, and your mind for my glory today. I have appointed you as a watchman on the walls. You are not just living for yourself. You are standing in the gap for your family, your community, and your nation. I am calling you to a deeper level of intercession and prayer. This is not a religious chore. It is a strategic partnership. When you pray, you are not trying to convince me to do something I don't want to do. You are aligning your will with my will so that my power can be released on the earth. I want you to understand the weight of the fervent prayer of the righteous. One person, fully surrendered and praying in the Spirit, can change the course of history. I have chosen you to be that person. Stop praying small. Safe prayers. I am the God who created the galaxies. Do you think your rent or your family conflict is too big for me? I want you to learn to pray from a place of victory, not just from a place of desperation. Instead of telling me how big your problems are, start telling your problems how big your God is. Stand on my promises. When you pray for the lost members of your family, don't just ask me to help them. Command the veils to fall off their eyes in the name of my Son. When you pray for your city, declare that my light is breaking through the darkness. You are not a beggar at my gate. You are a child at my table. Use your authority. I want to share my secrets with you. There is a level of intimacy in prayer where I begin to show you things before they happen. I want to whisper to you the needs of people around you so you can be the answer to their silent cries. Have you ever felt a sudden urge to pray for someone you haven't seen in years? That was my Spirit inviting you into a moment of intercession. Don't ignore those nudges. You might be the only one standing between them and a disaster. I am looking for those who will linger in my presence, who will stay in the closet until they feel the breakthrough in their spirit. Birthing spiritual miracles takes persistence. It takes "I will not let go until you bless me" kind of faith. I see the exhaustion you feel when you've been praying for the same thing for years with no visible change. Do not give up now. You are closer than you think. Every prayer you've ever prayed is like a drop of water in a bowl. Eventually, the bowl will overflow, and the answer will come like a flood. I am using your prayers to soften the hard ground of people's hearts. I am using your cries to dismantle the strongholds of the enemy. You are a spiritual warrior, and your knees are your most powerful weapons. I am strengthening your spirit today. I am giving you a new language of praise that will confuse the enemy and invite the host of heaven into your situation. Pray without ceasing. Let your life be a continuous conversation with me. I am declaring a season of supernatural favor over your life. This is not something you can earn with your hard work, and it's not something you can lose because of a mistake. Favor is my grace factor in action. It is the invisible force that bypasses human limitations and logic. I am going to open doors for you that no man, no matter how powerful or wealthy, can shut. I am going to cause your name to be brought up in rooms you haven't even entered yet. Why? Because I have chosen you to be a blessing. I am making you a magnet for the resources and the connections you need to fulfill your divine assignment. Understand that my favor acts as a shield around your reputation. There will be people who try to speak against you, people who are jealous of the light you carry, and people who want to see you fail. But I want you to remain calm. My favor will speak for you in places where you cannot speak for yourself. I will make your enemies your footstool. I will cause even those who dislike you to find themselves helping you, without even knowing why. This is the Joseph anointing. Even in a prison, Joseph had favor. Even in a foreign land, he rose to the top. Your current location doesn't limit my favor. I can bless you in the desert just as easily as I can bless you in a palace. I am calling you to be blessed so that you can be a blessing. If I give you more money, it's so you can give more away. If I give you more influence, it's so you can lift others up. Do not hoard the favor I am pouring out on you. The more you give, the more the fountain flows. I am looking for a channel, not a reservoir. When you see my hand moving, when you get that promotion, when the debt is canceled, when that relationship is healed, I want you to be quick to give me the glory. Tell people, this was the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Your success is a testament to my goodness, not your greatness. Recognize the grace factor in your daily life. It's the parking spot that opens up when you're late. It's the person who decides to give you a chance even though you don't have the experience. It's the peace you feel when everything should be falling apart. These are not coincidences. These are the fingerprints of my favor. I command you to start expecting good things. Stop waiting for the other shoe to drop. Stop expecting disaster around every corner. I am your father, and I love to give good gifts to my children. Walk with the confidence of someone who knows they are the favorite. Not because you are better than others, but because you are deeply loved by the one who owns it all. Receive my favor today. It is yours. Pause and listen, for my heart yearns to finish the transformation I have begun in you today. It would bring a heavy sorrow to my spirit if you accepted my favor but refused my fire, walking away before the dross of your old life is truly burned away. Do not settle for a surface-level blessing when I am inviting you into a depth of holiness that will change your destiny forever. Your soul is at a critical crossroads. Stay here in the refining heat of my love, for the beauty I am creating is worth every second of your surrender. I am bringing you into the fire, but it is not to burn you. It is to refine you. I am the great goldsmith, and I am sitting over the pot of your life, watching the temperature carefully. I am burning away the dross, the pride, the selfishness, the hidden addictions, and the need for people's approval. These things are weights that are slowing you down. I want you to be pure. I want you to be holy, as I am holy. I know the heat feels intense right now. I know you feel like you are being stripped of everything you used to rely on. But look closely. The only things the fire can destroy are the things that were holding you back. I am pruning the branches of your life. Every gardener knows that if a vine is going to bear the best fruit, it must be cut back. I am cutting away the dead wood, the relationships that are toxic, the habits that drain your spirit, and the mindsets that keep you small. It might feel like a loss in the moment, but it is an investment in your future. I want you to bear much fruit. I want your life to have a weight and a substance that lasts. This process of sanctification is the transformation of your mind to reflect the mind of Christ. I'm teaching you how to think like I think and love like I love. The beauty that emerges from the fire is breathtaking. When the dross is gone, I can see my own reflection in the gold of your soul. That is the goal of everything you are going through, to make you more like my Son. I want you to walk in a level of integrity that doesn't change when you are behind closed doors. I want your private life to match your public testimony. Put off the old self like a set of dirty clothes that no longer fit. Clothe yourself in righteousness, humility, and love. This isn't about being perfect by your own effort. It's about being fully surrendered to my Spirit. Your life is becoming a sweet aroma to me. When you choose to forgive someone who doesn't deserve it, that is the smell of heaven. When you choose to be honest when it costs you money, that is the fragrance of the altar. Do not resist the work of the Holy Spirit. If He is pointing out something in your heart today that needs to change, don't argue with Him. Don't justify your sin. Just lay it down. The altar is a place of death, but it is also the only place where true life begins. I am making you a vessel of honor, fit for the Master's use. You are being prepared for a glory that is far beyond anything you have seen. Trust the fire. Trust the gardener. Trust me. I have called you to be a city on a hill that cannot be hidden. You were never meant to blend into the shadows of this world or to hide the fire I have placed within your soul. I want you to understand that your mission is to reflect my glory to a world that has lost its way in a thick fog of confusion and despair. You are my beacon. When people look at you, I want them to see something different. Not just a person who is nice, but a person who carries the very atmosphere of heaven. You are the salt of the earth, meant to preserve what is good and to bring a divine flavor to every conversation and every environment you enter. Without you, the world loses its zest. Without you, the darkness grows bolder. I command you to let your light shine with a brilliant, unapologetic intensity. Your kindness is a weapon that can lead the broken to repentance. Do not underestimate the power of a single, gentle word spoken to a person who is drowning in their own mistakes. I want you to be the one who offers a hand when everyone else is pointing a finger. I want you to be the one who listens when the rest of the world is shouting. This is how you represent my heart. I am reaching out through your hands. I am speaking through your lips. When you show mercy to someone who doesn't deserve it, you are showing them me. You are demonstrating the radical, scandalous love of the cross. This is how the darkness is defeated, not by more darkness, but by the relentless intrusion of light. I invite you to be the vessel through which my love flows into the parched cracks of humanity. Standing for truth in an age of compromise is a heavy task, but I have equipped you for it. The world will try to pressure you to dim your light. It will tell you to be tolerant of things that are destroying souls. It will mock your convictions and call your faith outdated. But I am calling you to stand firm. Do not be a reed shaken by the wind of public opinion. Be an oak of righteousness. Your single life, fully surrendered to my light, has a ripple effect that you cannot see from where you are standing. You might think you are just one person, but a single candle can give sight to 1,000 people in a dark cave. You are that candle. I have placed you exactly where you are, in that specific job, in that specific neighborhood, to be a witness of my reality. I want you to recognize the impact of your consistency. It is easy to be a light when things are going well, but your true glory is revealed when you shine in the middle of your own struggles. When you are going through a dark night of the soul, and you still choose to praise me, that light is blinding to the enemy. It proves that your source of joy is not the sun, but the sun. I am giving you the strength to keep your lamp trimmed and filled with oil. Do not let the soot of the world's cynicism cloud your glass. Stay pure. Stay bright. Every morning when you wake up, I want you to declare, I am a light in the darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome me. Go forth today and push back the shadows. I am with you, and my glory is rising upon you. I am inviting you to come away with me and discover the secret of true spiritual rest. I see the way you have been running, trying to keep up with the demands of a world that is never satisfied. I see the soul weariness that sleep cannot fix. My child, I want you to cease from your own labors and learn to trust in my finished work. You are striving to earn things that I have already given you. You are working for an approval that you already possess in my eyes. I want you to find the easy yoke and the light burden that I promised. Rest is not the absence of activity, it is the presence of trust. It is the deep-seated knowledge that I am in control, even when you are standing still. Learn the difference between being busy and being fruitful. You can spend your whole day doing 1,000 things and still produce nothing of eternal value. I am calling you to move from a place of hustle to a place of harvest. When you rest in me, you become more productive because you are no longer wasting energy on anxiety and self-reliance. I invite you to recharge your spirit in the quietness of my Sabbath. This is not just a day of the week, it is a state of the heart. It is the inner sanctuary where you shut the door on the world's noise and listen to the rhythm of my breathing. I want you to guard your heart from the burnout that is consuming everyone around you. You are not a machine. You are a living soul that needs the water of my presence to survive. Trust me to handle the things you cannot control. I see the list of worries you carry around in your mind, the what-ifs regarding your health, your children, and your future. I want you to take that list and lay it at my feet right now. Every time you pick it back up, I want you to catch yourself and give it back to me. You are not designed to carry the weight of the universe. That is my job. I am the one who sustains the stars, and I am the one who sustains you. When you enter my rest, you are making a declaration of faith. You are saying, God, I trust you to do more while I sleep than I can do while I'm awake. This is the humility that unlocks my power. I am calling you to a holy stillness. In the world you live in, silence is often feared because it forces you to face your own thoughts. But I want you to embrace the silence, for that is where I speak the loudest. I want to settle the turbulence of your mind. I want to quiet the storms of your emotions. Imagine yourself sitting by a still lake at dawn. That is the tranquility I want to give your soul. Breathe in my peace. Breathe out your pressure. You don't have to prove anything to anyone today. You are already loved. You are already chosen. You are already safe. Let my rest be your strength. When you move from this place of stillness, you will move with a power that the world cannot understand. You will be calm in the chaos because you are anchored in the eternal. I want you to be sober and alert, for you must recognize that your struggle is nigh against flesh and blood. You are not fighting against your boss, your spouse, or your difficult neighbors. You are in a spiritual battle against the principalities of darkness and the rulers of this present age. The enemy is like a prowling lion, looking for a gap in your defenses. But I have not left you unprotected. I have provided you with a full suit of divine armor, and I command you to put it on every single day. Do not go into the world spiritually naked. You are a soldier in my army, and you must be equipped to stand your ground when the day of evil comes. Gird your loins with the belt of truth. In an era of lies, deception, and relative truths, my word is the only solid ground you have. If you don't know the truth, you will fall for any lie the enemy whispers. Wear the breastplate of righteousness to protect your heart. This isn't your own righteousness, which is like filthy rags, but the righteousness of my Son that covers your vulnerabilities. I want you to wear the shoes of the gospel of peace. Everywhere you walk, you should be bringing stability and reconciliation, not discord. Your feet should be ready to move at the impulse of my spirit, carrying the good news to those who are stumbling in the dark. Take up the shield of faith. The enemy is constantly firing darts of doubt, fear, and insecurity at your mind. He wants to make you question my goodness and my promises. But when you raise the shield of faith, those fiery darts hit the shield and go out. Faith is your defense. It is the unshakable belief that I am who I say I am. Put on the helmet of salvation to protect your thoughts. The mind is the primary battlefield. The enemy wants to fill your head with thoughts of failure and condemnation, but my salvation reminds you that you are a child of the King. Finally, take the sword of the Spirit, which is my word. This is your only offensive weapon. Use it to cut through the webs of deception. When the enemy says you are defeated, use the sword to declare, I am more than a conqueror through him who loved me. I am teaching you how to fight from a position of rest. You don't have to scream to be heard in the spirit realm. You only have to be submitted to me. Resistance to the devil only works when you are first submitted to my authority. I am giving you a warrior spirit that does not back down in the face of adversity. When you feel the pressure of the spiritual atmosphere getting heavy, start to praise me. Praise is a high-level weapon that confuses the enemy and invites the host of heaven to fight on your behalf. You are not fighting for a victory that might happen. You are enforcing a victory that has already been won. Stand tall, soldier. You are backed by the legions of heaven, and no weapon formed against you shall prosper. I have not called you to be a lone wolf in my kingdom. While I have a personal relationship with you, I have also placed you within a body, the body of Christ. I want you to find your place among the fellowship of the chosen. There is a strength found in the unity of the faithful that you can never experience on your own. I see the way the enemy tries to isolate you, whispering that no one understands or that church is full of hypocrites. He wants to isolate you so he can pick you off. But I am calling you to connection. You need the encouragement of your brothers and sisters, and they need the unique gift that only you carry. Bear one another's burdens to fulfill the law of Christ. I want you to look around and see who is struggling. There are people in your circle who are carrying weights that are crushing them. I want you to be the one who offers a shoulder. When you lift someone else up, I promise you that I will lift you up. This is the divine economy of fellowship. There is a supernatural power that is released when two or more are gathered in my name. It is like a spiritual battery. When you come together in unity, the voltage of my presence increases. I am calling you to avoid the snares of division and discord. The enemy's favorite tactic is to plant seeds of gossip and offense to tear the body apart. I command you to be a peacemaker. Protect the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. Encourage one another as the day draws near. The world is getting darker, and the road is getting narrower. You need voices in your life that will remind you of the truth when you are feeling weak. I want you to be that voice for someone else. Share your testimonies. Talk about my faithfulness. When you remind someone of how I came through for you in the past, you are feeding their faith for their future. This is the beauty of the fellowship. We are a family, bound not by blood, but by the Spirit. I want you to find a community where you can be authentic, where you can lay down your mask and be known. You don't have to be perfect to belong. You just have to be mine. I am weaving you into a tapestry of glory. Each thread is a different color, a different story, and a different struggle, but together, they create a masterpiece that reveals my character to the world. Do not neglect the gathering of the saints. Whether it is a large congregation or a small group in a living room, I am there in the midst of you. I am using other people to iron out the rough edges of your character. I am using your struggles to teach them compassion. This is how we grow. We grow together. I want you to feel the support of the global family of believers. You are part of something massive, something eternal, and something that the gates of hell cannot prevail against. Walk in unity, walk in love, and watch how my power is multiplied in your life. You have seen the power of my body and the strength found in our holy unity. Now, I am calling you to move from being a recipient of the word to being a herald of my glory. It would weary my heart to see you walk away without realizing that you hold the keys to reaching another soul who is crying out in the darkness for the message you just heard. I am personally inviting you to sow a seed of faith through PayPal or a channel membership, for this is how my gospel reaches the brokenhearted in every corner of the globe. Your gift is not merely a transaction. It is a sacred investment in the eternal harvest, and I will ensure that the fruit of your giving is credited to your heavenly account forever. I will be your Jehovah Jireh, the God who provides, and I will cause my favor to act as a shield around your reputation and your resources. Do not delay, for the time of the harvest is short and the need is urgent. Join this mission of light, support the work of this channel, and witness the miracles that happen when you align your treasure with my heart. I command you to step forward in faith. Give now and secure your place in this divine movement. Do not break this holy connection now, for we are nearing the summit of this journey, and my heart beats with an urgent desire to show you the fullness of my kingdom. It would be a tragic loss for you to have come this far only to miss the final keys of gratitude and provision that unlock the storehouses of heaven. I have held back secrets for this final hour, and it would weary my heart to see you return to the world's scarcity when my abundance is being poured out right here. Stay alert, stay present, and finish this walk with me. Your eternity depends on the truths we are about to reveal. I want to transform the atmosphere of your life through the power of praise. Gratitude is not just a polite response to a blessing. It is a spiritual discipline that shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have. I see the way you tend to focus on the one thing that is going wrong, while ignoring the 1,000 things I am doing right. This habit of murmuring and complaining is a poison that dries up your soul. I am calling you to cultivate a heart of gratitude. I want you to start your day by thanking me for the breath in your lungs, for the roof over your head, and for the grace that woke you up this morning. Thanksgiving is the key that opens the gates to my inner courts. Remember my faithfulness in the seasons of old. When you are facing a new mountain, I want you to look back at the mountains I have already moved for you. Do you remember when you didn't think you'd make it through that breakup? I was there. Do you remember when you didn't know how you'd pay that bill? I provided. When you recount my past mercies, you are building a bridge of faith for your current situation. Gratitude kills the spirit of entitlement. It reminds you that every good and perfect gift comes from my hand. I want you to be a person who notices the small details, the sunset, the laughter of a friend, the coincidence that went your way. These are my love letters to you. Acknowledge them. Defeat the enemy's whispers with a song of joy. The enemy cannot stand to be around a grateful heart. When he tries to bring a cloud of depression or a spirit of heaviness over you, start listing the things you are thankful for. Speak them out loud. There is power in the spoken word of praise. It clears the spiritual air. I want you to find abundance even in the midst of not enough. Contentment is not having everything you want. It is realizing how much you have in me. When you are grateful for the little, I can trust you with the much. Gratitude expands your capacity to receive. It prepares your heart for the flood of blessings I am longing to pour out. I am calling you to a lifestyle of in everything give thanks. I didn't say give thanks for everything. I know some things are painful, but I said give thanks in the middle of it. Even when you are in the valley, you can thank me that I am with you. Even when the answer hasn't come, you can thank me that you are not alone. This kind of radical gratitude is a sacrifice of praise, and it is a sweet-smelling aroma to my throne. It proves that you love the giver more than the gift. I want you to be known as a person of joy. Let your thankfulness be contagious. When the world sees you being grateful in the middle of a storm, they will want to know the source of your peace. I am that source. Be grateful today, and watch how the doors of heaven swing wide. I am Jehovah Jireh, the Lord who provides, and I want you to stop looking at your bank account as the final authority on your future. I know the knot that forms in your stomach when the bills arrive and the numbers don't seem to add up. I see the pressure you feel to provide for your family and the fear that you might one day run out of what you need. My child, I am calling you to look higher. I want you to trust my economy over the fluctuating, fragile systems of man. While the world panics over inflation, recession, and scarcity, I want you to rest in the assurance that I own the cattle on 1,000 hills. I am not limited by the resources of this earth. I am the God who fed 5,000 with a boy's lunch, and I am the same God who is watching over your table today. I want you to remember the secret of the widow's oil that never ran dry. She gave from her lack, and as long as she had vessels to fill, my provision continued to flow. I am asking you to keep your heart open and your hands ready. Do not let a spirit of poverty or hoarding take root in your soul. When you grip your resources too tightly out of fear, you stop the flow of my blessing. I command you to sow in faith, even when the ground looks barren. Sometimes, the very act of giving is what unlocks the windows of heaven over your life. I am looking for those who will trust me enough to be generous when the world says to be stingy. I will prove to you that you can never outgive me. Your daily bread is not just a prayer. It is a promise that I will sustain both your body and your soul, day by day, moment by moment. I feed the birds of the air, and I clothe the lilies of the field in a beauty that outshines kings. Do you not think I will do much more for you, my beloved? You are far more precious to me than the sparrows. I want you to release the heavy burden of how and when. I will provide the how and I will handle the when. Your job is to stay in alignment with my spirit. I am the God of the breakthrough. I can cause a resource to appear from a place you never expected. I can cause someone to walk into your life with exactly what you need at exactly the right time. I am orchestrating the details of your provision even while you are sleeping. I invite you to trade your worry for worship. Instead of counting your problems, start counting my promises. I am leading you into a season where you will see my hand move supernaturally in your finances and your resources. But I want you to handle the coming abundance with a heart of stewardship. I am blessing you so that you can be a conduit for my goodness to reach others. When you see the overflow, do not forget the one who provided it. Do not let your heart become proud. Stay humble, stay grateful, and keep your eyes fixed on me. I am your source. I am your provider. I am your security. Whether you have much or you have little, you have me, and that means you have everything you need. Walk with the confidence of a child whose father owns it all. You will never be forsaken, and your seed will never beg for bread. This is my covenant with you. I am the source of all truth, and I am inviting you to ask me for wisdom, for I give it liberally to all who seek it without reproach. I see you struggling with complex decisions, choices about your career, your relationships, and your future that feel like a maze with no exit. I want you to stop leaning on your own understanding, for human logic is a flickering candle in a vast forest. I am offering you the sun. I want you to discern between earthly knowledge, which is merely information, and heavenly insight, which is the ability to see things as I see them. The fear of the Lord is the true beginning of all understanding. When you put me first, the pieces of your life begin to fall into their proper places. I want to give you the wisdom to avoid the traps that the foolish fall into. I see the snares the enemy has laid in your path, the get-rich-quick schemes, the toxic relationships that look like love, and the compromises that promise peace but bring only pain. I command you to listen to my instruction. My word is a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. When you are quiet enough to hear my whisper, I will tell you, this is the way. Walk in it. I want you to apply my wisdom to the very real, very messy problems of your life. I am not just interested in your spiritual life. I am interested in how you handle your business, how you speak to your spouse, and how you manage your time. Everything is spiritual when it is submitted to me. Walking with the wise will make you wise, and I am the wisest counselor you will ever know. I invite you to sit at my feet and learn. I want to give you the tongue of the learned so that you know how to speak a word in season to him who is weary. I want to give you the discernment to see past the masks people wear and to understand the motives of the heart. This divine insight will protect you from many heartaches. It will help you navigate the unspoken tensions in your family and the politics of your workplace. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room when you are the most submitted person to the Holy Spirit. I will give you words that your adversaries cannot gainsay or resist. I am sharpening your spiritual intuition. You will start to notice things that others miss. You will feel a check in your spirit when something isn't right, and you will feel a peace that acts as an umpire in your heart when you are on the right track. Trust these signals. They are the whispers of my spirit guiding you through the complexities of this age. I want you to be a person of depth, not just someone who follows the crowd. While the world chases every new trend and every loud opinion, you stay rooted in the ancient truths of my kingdom. My wisdom is timeless. It will never fail you, and it will never lead you astray. Come to me today with your questions, and let me show you the path of life. I am ready to speak. Are you ready to listen? I want you to lift up your eyes and realize that your life on this earth is but a vapor, a brief moment in the span of eternity. It is so easy to get caught up in the temporary, the clothes, the house, the status, and the daily grind. But I am calling you to a higher perspective. I want you to start investing your time, your heart, and your energy into things that will last forever. There is a great harvest that is ripening all around you, and I have chosen you to be one of the laborers. I see the people in your life who are thirsty for hope, who are starving for truth, and who are walking toward a cliff without even knowing it. I am giving you a holy urgency. This is not the time to be spiritually asleep. I want you to keep your lamp trimmed and filled with the oil of my spirit. Do not be like those who were caught unprepared when the bridegroom arrived. Every prayer you pray, every soul you touch, and every act of obedience is a seed being sown into the eternal harvest. I see the tears you have shed for those you love who are far from me. I promise you that those who sow in tears shall reap with shouts of joy. Not a single effort you make for my kingdom is ever in vain. I am the Lord of the harvest, and I am orchestrating a massive movement of my spirit in these final hours. I want you to be right in the center of it. Do not let the distractions of this world rob you of your crown. Imagine the vision of the great multitude standing before the throne, people from every nation, tribe, and tongue. I want you to look at the people you pass on the street through the lens. Every one of them is an eternal being. I am calling you to participate in the Great Commission with a renewed passion. You don't have to be a preacher on a stage. You just have to be a witness in your life. Share what I have done for you. Tell them about the peace I gave you in the storm. Tell them about the healing I brought to your past. Your testimony is a key that can unlock the prison doors for someone else. I am empowering you to be an effective reaper in the field where I have planted you. I want you to live each day as if it were your last, not in a spirit of fear, but in a spirit of purpose. When you stand before me, the things that seem so important on earth, the bank account balance, the social media followers, the earthly titles, will fade into insignificance. All that will matter is how you love it, how you obeyed, and how many people you brought with you into the kingdom. I am giving you the strength to finish your race well. I am giving you a second wind for the final stretch. Stay focused. Stay faithful. The rewards of the eternal harvest are far beyond your wildest imagination. You are working for a king whose kingdom will never end. Let that be your motivation, your joy, and your strength as you navigate the days ahead. My beloved child, as we conclude this part of our conversation, I want you to carry my words in the deepest part of your heart. I am making a covenant with you this day. I will never leave you, nor will I ever forsake you. I will be with you until the very end of the age. When you walk through the fire, the flames will not consume you. When you pass through the deep waters, they will not overflow you. I am your God, and I have called you by your name. You are mine. I want you to go forth from this moment in the power of my Spirit, not in your own strength. You are equipped, you are chosen, and you are deeply, infinitely loved. I give you my peace, not the fleeting, shallow peace that the world gives, but a peace that is solid and unshakable. Let this peace be the guard over your heart and your mind. I am the one who started a good work in you, and I am the one who will be faithful to complete it. You don't have to worry about whether you are good enough to finish the journey, because I am the one carrying you. I am preparing a place for you in my Father's house, a mansion that is beyond anything you have ever dreamed of. But until that day comes, I want you to be my hands and feet on this earth. Walk with the authority I have given you. Shine with the light I have placed in you. Rest in the assurance of my goodness. I am working all things together for your good because you love me and are called according to my purpose. Even the mistakes you make, I can redeem. Even the detours you take, I can use to bring you back to the right path. I am the God of the second chance, the third chance, and the 100th chance. My mercy is new every morning. I want you to feel my smile upon you right now. I am proud of the progress you are making. I see your heart, and I see your desire to please me. That is enough for me. You are precious in my sight, honored, and loved with an everlasting love. Now, go and change your world. Go and be the blessing I have called you to be. Do not be afraid of the future, for I am already there. Do not be discouraged by the present, for I am right here with you. Do not be haunted by the past, for I have already forgiven it. You are a new creation, a chosen vessel, a royal priest, and a citizen of heaven. This is your identity. This is your destiny. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, and I have the final word over your life. And that word is, beloved. Rest in me. Trust in me. Abide in me. I am with you always. We have walked together through the deep mysteries of my heart, and now, as you step out into your world, I ask you, will you help me bring home the rest of my children? This message of being chosen was meant for you, but there are thousands more who are still blind to their identity, waiting for the very light you now carry. I am calling you to seal our covenant today by supporting this ministry with a super thanks or a gift through the link in the description. When you give, you are not just helping a channel. You are fueling a fire that consumes the chains of despair across the nations. I release a fresh mantle of favor upon you, declaring that because you have honored me with your substance, I will honor you with a double portion of my peace and provision. This is your moment to be a co-laborer with the Creator, ensuring that my word never returns void, but accomplishes everything I sent it to do. Your obedience in this moment is the bridge over which my grace will travel to reach the lost. I command you to respond to this divine call, support the mission today, and walk in the fullness of my promised blessing. Do not turn away from this moment, for my eyes are watching the very movement of your heart. I command you to seal this divine encounter right now by declaring your place among the chosen ones I have set apart for glory. Write the words "I am chosen" in the comments as a bold, prophetic strike against the darkness that tried to claim you. This is not just a digital mark. It is a sacred decree that echoes through the halls of heaven, announcing your arrival into a new season of power and purpose. Speak it, believe it, and watch as I move mountains to honor the faith you have just released. Go forth in my authority, for the world is waiting to see the light I have ignited within you this very hour. Amen.